Okay, we're live here, and nobody else knows we're here because I'm, an hour or so early. The reason I'm an hour or so early is apparently we're dumping people in here. I don't know. Let's see what's going on. Hang on. Cancel. Hello. Well, we're gonna have to start this thing over again, I'm afraid. Here we go. Hey, folks. What we're doing is I'm all right. What we're doing, I'm starting like. Hang on here. I'm sending a quick message. All right. What we've got going is Legal Mindset was having a couple of connection issues when I was on with him, and he just told me to start mine now. And we're gonna like dump some shit in here. So I assume we are here. So hey, everybody. All right. So I guess we'll just kind of start the show here. That kind of took me by surprise, but we will see what happens. So anyway, Legal Vices, welcome to the channel. I've invited peeps. We'll see if anybody wants to join in or what happens here. Let me send Legal Mindset a one quick little message here. Wow, I was totally taken by surprise there for a second. So, all right. Okay. Anyway, I've got my head about my shoulders here now, and I think we're doing good. This is a trial by fire if anybody wants to join, because I've never had a guest on my show yet, and I have no idea how to do it. So if anybody actually wants to join, I don't have a clue. But anyway, as I said, anybody that came over from Legal Mindset knows that, holy shit, I've got 554 viewers to start the day. How awesome is this? Anyway, Legal Mindset was having some connection issues and some troubles. And so he just told me to fire up my grill here like an hour early. So we're just going to take off and I guess kind of start doing what I wanted to do yesterday. I had a whole brand new beginning lined up and a few new things that I was going to break out. But hey, as Mike Tyson says, plans, everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face. Kind of got punched in the face here tonight. So we're starting cold. Oh, we have Jordy on here. Let's see. Jordy, are you there?
I am indeed. How you doing, Jeff?
Good. Now, you are the first guest I've ever had on this show, so I have no clue at what point I'm going to do something stupid and knock you off the or bump you or do some silly ass thing. But
that's all right. I used StreamYard for the first time the other day, and boy, it's confusing. I'm used to using OBS normally for my gaming streams.
Well, this is just about the first. I mean, this is what 2 weeks today, I think. No, 2 weeks in one day I've been doing this, and I still have no idea what I'm doing, as anyone that saw yesterday's broadcast can attest to. Yeah, that's
I'm not very good at social media stuff.
Well, gosh, I had a bunch of stuff planned, but that was supposed to happen about an hour from now, so. I'm just playing it by ear here. What I was planning on doing, and okay, I was going to say you may want to introduce yourself, but hell, everybody here came from Legal Mindset, so I'm probably the one that has to introduce myself. Anybody that's new coming here, I'm Legal Vices. I live here in Korea as well. I've been here in Korea for 34 years. I've been working for a law firm here in Korea for about 26 years. Do mainly maritime law and white collar criminal things and business contractual corporate type stuff. But we're all having fun with this Amber Heard thing. I have no idea what everybody's talked about over on Andrew's Legal Mindset channel, but if we're probably going to get into a little bit of overlap. I'm not going to talk about anything else that's happening out of the so-called law tubes.
Yeah, that's
not
been
my
dealt with
yeah,
already.
not my circus, not my monkeys. I like everybody, and I'm just gonna shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah. Gosh, where does
So
what
what-
I was gonna? Yeah, go ahead.
So what do you think about today then? So today's closing arguments, they've got 2 hours each and they can split that however they like between obviously their primary and their rebuttal. Obviously they did something a bit weird with opening arguments where both Camille and Ben did the bit together. Let's pretend that that's not going to happen in closing. Which lawyer or which attorney are you going to put in which slot for each team?
That's a good question.
Andrew asked it on his. That's the only reason I asked.
For Amber's. Oh, here's Nate.
Hey.
Hello, sir. Welcome.
What's going on? I was literally watching DUI Guy before I got here. He does this thing in the morning. My morning routine is legal mindsets, DUI Guy, now at Hogue, and then legal bite. So I like that's my morning routine for the trial.
It is official. I am so far out of my depth right now. It hurts. 870 viewers. This is my very first time I've ever had any guest on my channel. So as I told Jordy, when I do something stupid and dump you all, please come on back.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to this channel, people. Welcome to the channel.
And that's probably the biggest thing I forget to say.
But that's the one thing that's difficult, especially for all us YouTubers, is self-promotion, right? Because most of the time it's hard for us to self-promote. So
and I just get talking and I just forget about everything else. But Jordy just asked me the question that apparently all of you were asked, or how I would divide up the closing statements.
Yes.
I mean, assuming we do a tag team, for Amber's side, I think Elaine's got to go first. So the Rottenborn can kind of sort of wash the taste of Elaine out of everybody's mouth.
Well, the theme. All right, so you guys want to talk, because I think they're going to have two very different closings. So the closing for the Deps team, I think, is a lot easier. I think if we're talking about the closing for the Herd team, I think that's where we're going to have the issues. I think that's where we're going to have the issues. The one issue for Amber's team is, do we go with the innocent princess victim or the mutual abusive relationship? In other words, she's got to take some responsibility for her abuse. He's got to take responsibility for his abuse.
I think they have to go for the mutually abusive option. I mean, it's the only option that the jury is going to believe, I think.
But that's not what we just saw with her cross-examination. Her cross-examination was, I'm an innocent victim angel, and nobody's believing me. Right?
Yeah, but if I was her attorney, I'd be like, the jury aren't believing that. I'm going to have to go left field and go against my client, but try and go against them in a way that's actually going to help them.
I think Elaine is such a control freak, though. She has to be such in control. She's probably written out their closing arguments for them at this point. She's got the narrative she wants to portray, and you never know what it's going to be from day to day. She's been so chameleon-like from the beginning of this to the end.
Yeah, I think Camille is out of her element in this trial. Her objections are really poor. But I'll say this. The defense team, just the way they manage the trial, because there's two aspects. There's the argument.
Did I say Camille? I meant Amber. If I said
Camille, you meant Amber. I'm sorry.
Oh, but sorry. I don't know which one I said. But if I said Camille, I'm sorry, Camille. You're not a control freak.
You mean Elaine? You're talking about.
Elaine.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. So with Elaine, I think the trial management, the way they handle exhibits, the type of questions and things, I think she hasn't improved during the course of the trial. I think Deps, because I went back and was watching some earlier trial coverage, and Deps attorneys were getting objections pretty bad at the beginning, and then Hannah had to learn with this judge. So I think later on in the day, I just think Elaine didn't develop her legal strategy during the trial, and now it's still, it's still making those simple mistakes, which I think are hurting her client, right? Because for some reason she doesn't know how to ask a non-leading question, and she doesn't know what hearsay is, and I think that's really painful to watch.
Well, not only that, you've got to remember that just Judge Oscarate literally said when Elaine said towards the end of yesterday, "Oh, I think we've got better on the whole evidence thing." Oscarate said, "Yeah, because I've put a circle in place." So Elaine's team haven't really improved on anything. It's the judge that's had to kind of like coax them through it and teach them how to walk, so to speak.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But for you guys though, let's keep it real. Is there anything that Amber Heard's team can do to not even win, to just push? In other words, to not lose money? Because I think a win for Amber is a hung jury. We can't figure it out. I think that's a total win for Amber. What do you guys think?
I think they're going to have to push extremely hard to get the hung jury. If it's 6-1, that one is going to cave pretty quick, especially if it's 6-1 right out of the gate and they want to be able to enjoy their holiday weekend.
Yeah, it's tough.
If it goes into Tuesday, it may take a little more time, but at some point, that's the reality of when it's the jury pool is so one-sided in their decision, someone's going to cave. Whether they want to or not, they'll eventually cave. Or if they're just such an absolute holdout, they might get the hung jury. And I believe that is a huge win for Amber.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's the best she can pray for, and that's going to take a major Hail Mary.
I don't think Ascarati would allow a hung jury on Friday.
No,
because you haven't discussed it enough. So, and I think if they really don't want to come back on Tuesday, which I mean, in the UK, with the amount you get paid for being on a jury for a trial that's longer than 10 working days, yeah, I'd drag that out a bit. But for $30 a day, you want to get that over with as soon as possible. So,
yeah, but
the judge already talked about going. She already talked about if we're here on Tuesday and Wednesday what's going to happen. So she's not. She will probably make them take the entire next week before she even considers it.
Well, I would say this going into Friday, if closing arguments to the day, right? So you start closing arguments in the morning. You give the jury instructions. If you can do all that in the morning, because that's going to take, you're talking about at least minimum 6 hours, right? 3 hours for one side, 3 hours for another side. That's 6 hours of arguments. I'm assuming everybody's going to take every minute they can.
So then
that's the closing. But then you got jury instructions.
They've only got 2 hours each.
All right. Then you got jury instructions, which is probably going to be another hour, right?
Yeah, that's gonna be a thing. Yeah.
So we're expecting this jury to get the case maybe about 2:00. So can they go orient themselves, read through the jury instructions, and get a verdict in 2, maybe 3 hours? I don't know, because we're talking about them going to maybe 6:00 at most.
I reckon they'll go later than that. She said you can go late within reason, so I reckon she'll allow like 7, 8 o'clock in the evening.
But that's if they're close.
Yeah.
If they're not close, if they go in and said, "Hey, it's 7 people, it's 4-3 split." I think they go home.
I think it's going to be a 5-2 maximum, because you've got the 2 women, haven't you, who were kind of a bit, nobody can really read them. So I think you've got those 2 that are going to be on the fence. But if there's only 2 people, depending on what arguments they put forward towards Amber, that might easily get swatted aside.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're definitely right.
What are the chances that they go into the jury room, they read the instructions, and they go, anybody really? And they're out in 30 minutes or an hour. Is there any possibility for that? I don't think so.
When you say in and out within 30 minutes to an hour, what kind of decision are you saying they've come to?
You just walk in, they go, we've had enough. We know she's completely lying to us. We know that she has no case. She has no defense and nothing on her claims. Let's just call it a day. That quick of a unanimous verdict, do you think it's possible?
Well, you know what they're going to do? I think it is, because if generally what juries do, they'll go in, they'll do the jury, they'll get orientated, and then the first thing you do is take a vote. Let's just see where everybody's at, right? It's the first order of business. Let's take a vote to see where everybody's at. If that vote comes out, everybody's good, then I think you got your quick verdict, right? That's essentially what happened with OJ. They went back there, was like, all right, let's take our first vote. And everybody was at not guilty. And they were like, well, damn.
Yeah.
Why? Well, it's been 2 hours. Okay, well, let's get the hell out of here.
They've got a couple of things to vote on both sides, haven't they? Because first of all, you've got to decide whether Amber's lying or not. I mean, if they can all agree that Amber's lying, then it becomes a whole lot easier. But if that vote's not clear, then they've got to decide whether Waldman's statements had malice before, they've got to decide agency first, haven't they?
No, you get a jury verdict form, right? And then so you'll have to, so that you get verdict forms, and the verdict form literally have questions on it. So the question will be, did the defendant? So they'll have, did the defendant make this statement? And you'll see the statement, and you say yes or no, right? So did the defendant make the statement? Then the second one is this statement false on the verdict form? And then you'll say yes or no, and then the jury foreman will fill out if then you vote on each one of those. Did the defendant make the statement? Unanimous or preponderance or whatever? Then I'm not preponderance of the evidence, but then they all vote and everything for each one of those. And if they say yes, then we're good. If there's yes, and then somebody says no on any one of those, then that's the one we got to go talk about. And then you do the same thing with Amber's case. Did she prove it? And if you have no's, then you put that to the side, and then you argue out the no's.
Do we think we could end up in a situation where they both win partially on their claims?
I don't think there's a possibility that they could both win. Because what one is
it's a legal impossibility. I think there's a legal impossibility for them both winning, and the reason why is because essentially for her to win, she's got to prove that she was abused and Johnny was the abuser. For Johnny to win, he's got to prove that that not only was he not the abuser, but she's lying about being abused. So,
but I think that situation could go both ways though, because if they have now, I'm not sure I believe how exaggerated some of Amber's stories are, obviously, but there could be a possibility that I'm not talking about reactionary here, but let's say different incidents where in some of those incidents she's been the aggressor and potentially in some of those incidents Johnny's been the aggressor. So in that situation, and I'm not talking like one's reacting to the other there, I'm talking about like totally separate incidents. But in that kind of situation, they could find, well, yeah, Amber's lying in terms of exaggeration, but they could also say, well, Johnny's also not being 100% truthful.
True. I think that would be more inclined to lead to a lose for both sides.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, that's true. I think because the core point here, there's one core point about abuse. Did Johnny abuse Amber? And that point for both sides to win, that question's answered differently in both cases. So for Johnny to win, it has to be a no. Right? So that's the only way he can win. If that's a yes, he loses everything. Did Johnny abuse Amber? Yes or no? I'm assuming if that answers a yes, then that means Amber can win her claim. If that answers a no, then I don't think there's any way Amber can win her claim because her claim is dependent upon Johnny abusing her. So yeah, I think that's why I say I think it's legally impossible for Amber to win and Johnny to win at the same time. I think it's either Amber wins or Johnny wins or they both lose. I can see a scenario where they both lose, but I don't think there's a scenario where they both can win.
Yeah, Nate, I'm going to ask you to take this for 30 seconds while I turn my cam and mic off. Sure. I've got these two 50-pound bulldogs behind me that are starting to snore and slobber, and I can hear them breathing behind me. So I'll be right back.
Let me answer some. Let's answer some questions from the chat if you don't mind, Jordy.
Yeah, that's fine by me.
What's the chat? Is the chat? What's the chat saying? Legal on why is Legal Mindset not here? He was having internet issues, so that. Unfortunately,
somebody else has said, "Do you believe the jury don't check the internet?" Well, I mean, it's an honest
probably
system,
not.
Isn't it? So you've got to hope that they don't. But I mean, they probably do, because if I was on a jury and I came home to my wife and she saw a video, she would just show it to me without thinking, and I would probably look at it without thinking because she's my wife showing me a video. So I can understand in that situation if they've seen something. Do I think they're actively going to go out and seek things on the internet? No, because that would be silly.
Yeah, I think the jury's I don't think is as blind to everything as they say, but I just honestly would hope that because I think you win on just looking at the numbers here, right? If you honestly look at the evidence in this case, it's hard for I think it's just so hard to believe Amber's story if you just look at the evidence. That's just how it is for me. Maybe that's a biased opinion, but
no, I think you're right. And even if there is any validity to any of her claims, which I mean, to say that she's absolutely lying about absolutely everything she alleges is a stretch in and of itself. But when there's so many proven lies stacked up against her, you just kind of have to say, yeah, well, if you lie about one thing, you lie about everything.
That's true. And but the thing is that I do want to preface this by saying there are situations where everybody in a court case, plaintiff and defendant, exaggerate to try to bolster their side's position, right? Nobody's is going in there pure. This happened to me, and I don't want to say they're not trying to deceive you, but you're trying to tell the story in the best possible light to win you some money, right? I think Johnny is telling the story the best way he can to win money, and I think Amber. But the problem I think comes down to is that Johnny's story is believable. Amber's story is not believable. And that's where it rubs the road, because Amber's story isn't, and that's what I think Camille did on her cross-examination that was so profound. The last cross-examination, she was able to not make it Amber saying something, Johnny saying something. It was Amber saying something, but everybody else is saying something else, right? She's like, we're not going to test Amber's credibility against Johnny's. We're going to test it against the guy from the what's it called? The trailer park.
The trailer park. Her best friend. Yeah.
Her best friend, TMZ, the cops, the doctors, all these other people, right? Yeah. Let's test her credibility versus them, because they all got to be the guy. He's lying. This guy's lying. This guy, you saying this guy's committing perjury? Another liar on the stand, right? How many lied? And we can just list them all out. And at the end of the day, if I'm Johnny's attorneys, I'm saying, who are you going to believe? This is not a he said, she said. This is a she said and everybody else said, right?
I agree with what you said the other day, Nate. If I was doing my closing argument for Team Johnny, I would bring out the old easel and I'd be having a table with two columns, Team Amber or Team Johnny on each side, and you'd have Amber on the left and everybody else on the right, because it's believe Amber or believe Amber and no one else, or believe everybody else and not Amber.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's how I would couch my closing. I completely agree with that. And then at the end, I would bring up the just that hysterical video of hers.
Oh yeah.
And
that's why they asked about audio when they were doing the jury instruction stuff. Oh yeah, can we play audio and things? And they wanted to play bits of the deposition as well, which I thought was quite amusing. They were never going to get that, but
well, that's what I would do. I would have, if it would have been possible, I would have done the when we release, to do that, and then do the who's going to believe you, Johnny. The end. I think that would be a great walk off. Just do the go ahead, tell them nobody's going to believe you.
Yeah. Tell them nobody. I think Johnny's is just so easy to close. I think Amber is the more interesting close, because you have to, because if as an attorney you just got so many variables you got to consider. One considers the client. You would have to have that conversation with her last night, and you got to convince her. Listen, are we trying to win, or are we trying to be slaughtered? Because if we go in there with this whole "you're an angel, you're pure, you have done no wrong," we're going to get slaughtered. Nobody believes that. I think I'm a good attorney, but there's no way that we've proved that, right? Those pictures, those things. Our case is not that. You are not innocent. Our case where we can win, and when win, what do I mean? You not paying any money. You walking out of here and people still booing you, but you can still walk out of here and say, listen, a jury didn't believe him. That's what I'm trying to, that's the win I want to give you. Some win. When you go to a studio, they'll say, at least he didn't win the case. He might have one public opinion, but he didn't win the case. That's the win I'm offering you. And how do we get there? Is that we got to speak to people like they're people. We can't try to question their intelligence by showing them there are bruises that you were dragged over glass, and the next day you're in a backless dress. People don't believe that. They're not going to believe that. So what we got to do is we got to make them, give them something. You know what they'll believe? They'll believe Johnny's a drug addicted to alcohol that hit you, right? Because he's admitted that, right? There's no credibility here. He said, I accidentally headbutted her. I can work with that, right? I can go in here and say, hey, what abuser doesn't say they accidentally didn't hit their wife, right? What abuser says, she's got 2 black eyes. Oh, it was an accident. It was her fault, right? I can make Johnny into that person, but I can't make you into the pure, unclean princess, right? I got to tell them the truth about you. But Amber gave as good as she got. My clients admitted to hitting him too. So you know what? It's not the fact that Johnny survived Amber. No. And we're also not saying Amber survived Johnny. We're saying they survived each other. They survived each other. And this case is about abuse. It's about 2 people who abused each other for the year and a half they were together and now can't let each other go. But just imagine, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, both of these people survived this relationship together and send them home with what they deserve. Nothing. That's how Amber can win.
Do you like three
You'd
three
sway
quick
me
thoughts
if
for you
I was
guys?
on the jury with that closing.
Say it again.
You'd sway me on the jury if I with that closing. You know what? When you started, I was like, no, Johnny gets all the money here. Amber gets absolutely nothing. And then by the time you were finished, I was like, okay, yeah, no, they can both go home with nothing. So yeah, Amber needs to hire you. Amber needs to hire you just for today.
No, I would think that
Right now on stream, I convinced you.
there's more than one juror that I'm sure feels that same way. It's like we're listening to a 2 creepy, horrible human beings sue each other for tens of millions of dollars. I think there's probably more than one juror that'd be swayed by that. But the first question I have is, do you think Amber would be swayed by that sort of a "you got to come to Jesus" session, or would she continue to be Amber?
But you know what though? That's how you know the quality of your attorney, because your attorney's got to come in there and got to give you the, let's praise Jesus moment. First, Amber. First, we sit down there, Amber. We gotta pray, and then the prayer starts it up. Lord Jesus, we need help because we're going to a bad day tomorrow. We got a hateful jury and a hateful crowd, and we need help, dear Lord. We got to convince these people that the good Amber Heard is innocent. But Amber has to make the choice to let me get there. And then after we pray and we cry, then I hold her hand and look in those beautiful blue eyes and say, we got to go a different direction, or we going down the drain. Now, the best way to get Johnny, because I know you don't like Johnny, right? You want him to get his. Well, let me tell you my closing, and I bet you it's going to get him, because when you walk out of that day and the jury has found you not liable, those people can say anything they want about you online, but one thing they can't say is you defamed Johnny Depp. But I'm trying to convince her.
Yeah.
Let me go there, right? That's me telling her to convince her to go there. Well, I don't know if it will do it.
Honestly,
make
God,
an
if
interesting
Amber's
point.
PR team are watching this, they really need to call Nate today. Nate, you need to charge like $1 million per minute.
Yeah.
but then on Johnny's side, I think it'll be the exact opposite, right? Yeah. I think but Johnny's side is a straight demonstrative, right? Here's Amber Heard. To believe her story, these are the people that must be lying. I'm not even saying must be lying. That I put the list of 20 or 30 people that must be lying. There's absolutely no way that you could that she can be telling the truth. And then I go over. Let's not even talk about the people that you can't believe. Let's talk about the evidence you can't believe. Then we go over the pictures of the backwards dresses and all that. Here's the pictures of every day after she says these horrible attacks. No, you can't believe these pictures, right? And then you can't believe none of that. None of these pictures. Then we go on even about the stuff that is easy for you to believe, right? Things that are obvious. She donated money to children's hospitals. She's lying about the simple stuff, right? Then we go over those simple lies, right? Who the hell doesn't know the difference between donated and pledged, right? Then we go this. Then we slam the door shut. This isn't even a he said, she said case. This is a she said and nobody else said case. That's where we go with this, right? Yeah. And no matter how much she wants to say, Johnny's an abuser, Johnny's that. The one thing she can't say is Johnny's accounts are wrong, because everyone else are saying the same thing. The argument here is this is not a he said again. This is not a he said, she said. This is she saying something, and every other person who was there says it didn't happen. Believe all women or believe the facts and evidence? That's what this case is about. And I think that's how Johnny Depp is going to slam it home. I think that's what he needs to do. I think that's where we're going. And I think that's the theme that they've been putting off. And I think that's a more powerful theme, but it's can he get there? And I think they can.
Do the clients have to be in court for closing?
Generally, it's a good thing because the jury's going to want to look at your reactions for closing. So I would have my client there.
To be there. I'd rather wasn't there if I was her attorney, but just because of the kind of reactions that she gives off.
But it's a negative inference, though, it's not you don't get a legal name, but it could be a negative inference. Like, the jury's going to be like, why the hell isn't his client?
Yeah,
I don't want any of those questions. You just sit there. You're an actor. You get paid to act now. You got to act for 2 hours right now, but you got to put that work in.
Are we sure they won't be there for the verdict?
Well, Johnny said he's not going to be there for the verdict.
Yeah. But verdict at that point, you're still not trying to convince a jury to come to a verdict. It's that you're reading what they already came to. So if you're not there, it doesn't bother you.
Does it look bad publicly if you're not there?
No, because verdicts are kind of random, so they can come at any time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's not like for like a criminal case, you're locked up until they get solved.
Yeah,
you're locked up.
You're gonna be there for the verdict.
Yeah, but.
You got to do that walk of shame for the verdict.
Yeah.
I've just been trying to think of a trial where I haven't seen the people not there for the verdict.
Actually, the last one, Kim Kardashian, they weren't there for their verdict, and they won because they went to the Met Gala. So the jury came back that same day. So they had left to New York. So they weren't there for their verdict, and they won. So,
well, this is going to be a real fascinating thing because it's still going to be good for us here in our little sphere because no matter what happens, it's going to be dissected for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Yeah.
And if no matter which side wins, they're going to have a soapbox to stand on for, oh, see, look at the injustice, or, oh, yes, we did it. Now let's, this is going to be interesting to see how gracious and or ungracious they are in victory or defeat.
And one last thing too, hopefully, because I know that with the beef, because I'm going to get out of here, I'm going to go because I got to take kids to school. But even though like these little intergroup beefs and whatever, I just want to make sure before I leave, I want to say I love DUI Guy. I think he's fantastic. I literally was watching the show this morning. Like he's in the courthouse, which I'm probably going to be watching right now because I love his courthouse stuff. I don't know why. I just love the guy's courthouse stuff.
I missed the Karen moment yesterday. I was trying to find it on his feed, but I couldn't find it. Was it at the beginning, middle, or end?
Maybe the I'm not sure. I gotta look at the feed yesterday because I watch. What I do is that like he drives to the courthouse, so I like to watch him drive, and then he gets out and starts talking to people. So that's funny. But DUI Guy, I think DUI is great. I think the guy's fantastic. I also think Legal Bites. Legal Bites is my sister. She's fantastic too, and it's a little beef. Sometimes a little beef is fine, within a group, and we fight with each other because we love each other, but then we all get so hopefully, it's a little bump in the road, but I think we're all pretty much cool with it. So
yeah, and as I was saying before you jumped on, I'm so new to this game. I have zero monkeys in this particular circus. Yeah. I love everybody I've come into contact with, so both of them included. Yeah. Everybody's great. I don't think anybody has a malicious bone in their body. No, they wouldn't be part of the group, and I just kind of keep my mouth shut and say, hey, they're adults, they'll work it out or not.
Yeah, amen to that.
And they don't need the people taking team this or team that.
There's no such thing. Yeah. And don't forget, we're all human beings too, because I make mistakes. We all make mistakes, and
we all make mistakes.
And sometimes I think mistakes were made, but that's neither here or there. I think at this point in time, let's continue watching this fantastic trial with this fantastic coverage from Legal Vice's Jordy, and most of you guys who are here this morning, this has been fantastic stuff. And I do, before I leave, I do want to ask you guys one question. So there are odds going out on when this trial is going to end. So the odds now are 50-50. 50% that it's going to end today. 50% is going to end later, and I'll tell you why. So the running theory now is that the trial is going to end today because we get the holiday weekend, and that these jurors don't want to go the holiday weekend, have to come back to this. So what do you guys think about the odds of it ending today, or do you guys think we're going into next week?
I think it's more 70-30 that it ends today, to be fair. I think 50-50 is very conservative on it. I'm going to go all in and say 70% it ends today, I reckon. I mean, I just know what people are like when it comes to like a long weekend and then having to go back to something that they haven't probably thought about over that weekend. And by the time you've gone back after those 3 days, you then kind of have to start going through everything again because of the time you've spent away from it. So I do think today is probably the most likely option, but they might swerveball me. I mean, I was swerveballed the other day when I didn't think Johnny and Kate were going to take the stand. And what did they do? Put Johnny and Kate up there.
Well, I guess I was backed up against a wall. If you push me up against a wall like Johnny Depp with Amber Heard and banged my head against it a few times and forced me to give you an answer, I would probably have to say it's more likely than not it will go into Tuesday.
Ooh.
But if the judge had said, we're going to come back on Saturday, then it would end today.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And we're not losing our 3-day weekend. We're going to end this sucker now. And I think that. because she's letting them go for 3 days, they can go have their good time and definitely not talk to people or look at the internet.
Like that's not going to happen
on Tuesday. Yeah.
Like that's not going to happen over Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, the jury couldn't figure it out. And you know how people are going to be. You're going to be like, listen, I don't know how that stupid jury can't figure it out, because they're going to be on the line in the supermarket, or they're going to go to a bar and somebody will be like, these jurors are idiots. He's obviously lying. There's no way you can stay away from this case.
I would say it's 100% that it's not going to go past Tuesday. One way or the other.
Tuesday, the last day.
Yeah.
See, if I was on that jury and we actually broke up for the 3 days, I would be making it go past Tuesday, because I'd be like, well, I can't remember what happened 6 weeks ago now, so we're going to go over the evidence again, guys. We should have decided this on Friday.
we got to go through them all. Oh, my God.
I'd be dragging it out for the rest of the week at that point. I'd be like, right, we're going to go through every last piece of evidence again. That's it. You made me break up for the weekend and come back, losing more money from my job.
Well, listen, I hope you guys are right. Let me head on out to do. Listen, thank you so much, Legal Vices, for inviting me on and having me. It's
good Lord. Honor. I'm the only one thankful here that you three deign to be on my humble little channel. Everybody go support Nate. If you haven't visited his site, subscribe and visit and do all the other stuff you have to do, because he's one of the first people I was watching here.
Oh yeah! Oh wow! I'm on it. It's wild, because you put things out, and I just hope they connect with people. And I will also say, Jordy, thanks again for sending me the invite. And it's great speaking to you guys. And let me know whenever you guys have something, please. I love to have these conversations. And I'm whenever I'm free and available, I'll definitely drop by. Please. I really do. And I wish I could stay longer, to be honest with you. I'm like my kids are like, I'm like, Daddy doesn't want to go. Daddy wants to stay on stream.
Well, now that I know hosting people is not as catastrophically difficult as I first assumed it would be, I can do this more often now. I've got the tension out, ready to go a few more rounds.
Flowing now.
Got the juices flowing. Oh, don't forget, people are saying, I don't know if you have super chats, but they're saying people want to super chat you, so they're like, turn on super chat so we can super chat you.
Yeah, I wish I did. I need 3,087 more hours before that happens.
but you're going to get some hours now, though. This is going to be some hours now. How many people are watching?
We've got 1,305 now.
Yeah,
so everybody keep watching for at least one more hour.
1 hour. Well, you got people watching for 38 minutes. So you got.
I've been doing this for 2 weeks, and I'm gonna go over 10,000 subscribers today, and that's freaking me out a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's well deserved. And listen, this YouTube game is a game of runs. Right. Yeah. And you go up and you go down and you move up. So it's but the thing is that you get an audience that likes you for you. And I found that out, is that if you put out great content and you're a good person, people come find you. Some people won't like you, some people will like you, but as long as you're just honest with the people and just tell them, hey, listen, this is who I am. If you like me, so if you don't, you don't. It's that type of thing. And people generally will like you for you. And
that was just Andrew. We're just hanging around drinking, and you got to get on this racket.
Yeah.
I say the same shit you say, and people line up to watch. I'm like, all right, whatever.
You know what? I'll say this: the one, because for those before I leave, before a lot of you don't understand too. I know I'm like never gonna leave. but I have a hard 7:00 exit for sure. But I do want to say this. One of my learning how to live stream was one of the most interesting parts of this, because like at first, it's you put a camera up and you try, but I remember Nick gave some really good advice. Nick was like, he said something like, always be you, but remember you got to be you. You have to be entertaining you, something like that. Like you got to be a better.
You have to be a slightly exaggerated version.
Yes, slightly. Exactly. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I was like, but it wasn't being fake. It was like, just like you're saying, being more exaggerated, more pronounced. So I was like, oh, okay, that works. And when I started doing it, I started finding out people liked me being me, but it wasn't really the exaggerated version of me. It was kind of like the free me. Like, the me, like I got me when I want to stream and I want to be like, you got to be serious. Like, yes, this is me, versus just relaxed me. And Nick was essentially telling me to be relaxed me. Don't be stream me. And when I started doing that, that's when things changed for me, because it was
that's exactly
like people were experiencing me, not a facade I was trying to present. Go ahead,
that's what Andrew told me exactly. He said, dude, if you do this, be this dude here on the couch.
Yeah.
Because in my head, I'm always just hilarious and amusing up here, but whether other people, who cares? And I sort of have just I'm not shy on camera and whatnot. Way back in the early college days, I did radio announcing for 5 years, so I'm used to thinking, holy shit, there's a million people watching me or listening to me right now. So I didn't have that fear, and God knows as lawyers, we never run out of things to talk about. So
that's true. Yeah.
It's just trying to keep people amused. And it's like the harder you try, the less interesting and less authentic it comes out to be.
Yes. Yep. Yes. Unless you're Johnny Depp, who's making millions of dollars the act, right?
Yeah. Well, if there's any cologne companies that wants me to advertise for them, I'll be all over that.
I'm sure you can get yourself a Dior sponsor, right?
Hopefully L'Oreal or something. Listen, guys, it's again. Thank you. Thanks again. Please, if you guys please have anything, please don't forget me, and have a wonderful morning. Well, for me, it's morning. Have a wonderful morning, guys.
All right. Okay. Take care, Nate. Drive safe.
Peace.
And you, Nate, have a good one.
Take care.
All right. We're not going anywhere. I'm not supposed to start my stream until 4 minutes from now, but here we are. Jordy, are you going to stick around?
I can stick around for a little bit longer if you're okay with that. I've got about another half hour or so, and then I've got a work meeting.
Please do. What I plan to do, and like I said, I'm totally my plan has totally been shot to hell because this was thrust upon me at a moment's notice. Yeah. All right, everybody that's leaving, get your ass back here. We're just getting started. What I planned on doing was going through Amber Heard's rebuttal testimony, just doing a review, giving my thoughts again on it, and maybe stopping and explaining a little more about things. Because it was I think it was like 45 minutes if you take out the sidebar discussions.
Yep.
And I think it would be kind of fun because I'm feeling a bit saucy today.
There's definitely some comments to be made about that rebuttal, that's for sure.
Well, now again, anybody asking about super chats and whatnot, you're supposed to have 4,000 hours, and I'm under 1,000 at this point. But if everybody sticks around for at least another hour, hey, there's 4,000 hours right there. If we can get 2,000 people for 4 hours, that'd be awesome. Or wait,
I've just noticed somebody asking chat what were the legal reasons behind the English verdict. That's a conversation for a different day, and I am not going to hijack Legal Vice's stream with that conversation, because I could talk for hours about how really there's no basis for that judgment or the appeal judgment. But yeah, that's all I'll say for that matter for now.
And I didn't pay attention for 5 seconds to the English proceedings.
Neither did I.
It has nothing to do with this. Well,
no, that's it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I looked at the depositions, but I mean, there wasn't that much of the actual trial televised. A lot of it was behind closed doors. So I've read the judgment in full. I've read the appeal judgment in full. I've read the judgment summaries in full. And I've got my opinion on those based on what I've read in there, because obviously in the judgment, he goes through the evidence and his opinion on the evidence and everything like that. And yeah, it's an injustice that judgment happened. Let's just leave it at that.
I like that. Legal Vices looks like a bald Gavin McGinnis.
I'm not sure who Gavin McGinnis is.
He's a based, grounded Scotsman, Scots-Canadian, I believe he is. But yeah, he's a based dude. But this is optional. I rode motorcycles for like 34 years, and it's just easier not to have hair when you're riding the motorcycle. Gosh, so again, I really have trouble reading the comments of 1,139 people. So you'll have to forgive me if I see something while I'm doing my spiel and my shtick here, then I'll comment
Here's one for you,
Yeah.
Jeff, from the chat. Do you think Amber was codependent on Johnny, and will she prosecute for the bottle issue? Why didn't she prosecute him for that?
Why didn't she? Because she had no evidence. I mean, what evidence is there it happened? Zero, none. Nothing. She was, if it happened, she's dumb for not doing it. And I don't think she can. I have no idea what the statute of limitations would be on that, seeing as how it happened in Australia.
Which was what, 2015, 2016?
Yeah, somewhere around there. And if it's anything like, I believe most time bars in British courts is 6 years, I believe.
Around about that, yeah.
But I don't know what that's for the civil things. I have no clue what the criminal.
Yeah, I've never dealt with criminal. Even when I was a paralegal, it was all kind of civil, family, divorce, and kid related stuff. So,
well, let's just jump straight here into the testimony of what's your guts, Amber.
Amber. I forgot her name there for a second.
I'm just like, it's been one of those days. Like I said, I haven't had time to get my head around anything yet. I literally got things set up so that I could go relax and chill with Andrew over Legal Mindset for an hour and a half, and then come here and do this. And that didn't work out very well. So here we go. This is the beginning of all of the stuff. I got to separate my window here so I can.
That stenographer looks so fed up.
Yo, you think?
She's like, oh dear, Amber's about to take the stand. I've got to listen to more lies.
Yeah, and the things she's heard on the sidebars and whatnot. All right, let's go. Let me know if there's any audio problems, because there was yesterday because I was an idiot, and hopefully I won't be an idiot 2 days in a row. Call your next witness. Call your next witness. So anyway, the reason while she's walking up there, she's got to walk up there and go get her water and then walk back. The whole point of doing this was so bad for her. I mean, she was in a really horrific position legally to begin with, and then for whatever reason. Oh, I thought we still got to wait for the jury to come in. For whatever reason, she decided that she wanted to go on the stand again for this rebuttal. I don't.
She had to have the last word. I mean, I honestly am starting to think that maybe it was a ploy from Johnny's team to put Johnny up there to bait Amber into going up again. I mean, I think that is a legitimate tactic they could have used.
Your Honor,
that's not unreasonable.
All right, Ms. Jordy, come stand, please.
But I mean, she was so far behind the 8 ball to begin with. And this just did less than anything good for her.
Yes, ma'am. Water.
Oh, there we go. Back for the water.
Yeah. She's got to go back and get the Pedialyte or
that
whatever
sheriff
she's
looks
drinking.
So frustrated at her.
Yeah. All right. Let's go.
Just a reminder, you're still under oath, okay?
Of course, Your Honor.
Thank you.
She is
All
under
right, your
oath.
question?
Time for a mega swill.
Amber, just to orient you and the jury, at this time, we are in the rebuttal to your counterclaim.
In other words,
against
try
Mr.
and
Depp.
stick to
So
what
I'm
I
gonna
ask you
confine
so
my
they don't
questions to
object
that,
too
okay?
much,
All
Amber.
right.
How have you suffered publicly as a result of the Depp Waldman statements.
I really hate that Depp Walden statement thing. I really, really hate
They
that.
shouldn't be allowed to do that. The
Well,
jury
yeah.
has to decide agency, and the more they hear Depp Waldman, the more they're going to find that agency. I think they're just trying to unfairly influence the jury, and it's not fair.
Okay, I did not have sexual relations with that subscribe button. Well, go out there and do it now. Don't be intimidated. It's not that big of a subscribe button. Go out and hit it. Hit it hard. Back to the testimony.
Objection, speculation.
Like that. Just like, that was a speculation sigh there. Now, watch, and again, this is the thing that you can do in retrospect. Watch how when she's perfectly fine, the first question she does this thing. She starts the fake crying, which I was trying to upload a clip of her acting coach saying she has a really difficult time with fake crying. And then go into this, how she instantly cries. You make an objection. She instantly looks at the judge, waits for the next question, starts again. And then when it's cross-examination, she forgets about crying, and then she just gets pissed.
Yeah,
there's
that was one
no-
thing I was going to mention is the switch
Yeah.
of emotion is just, it's too quick for it to be
Yeah.
genuine, because I mean, before I studied my law degree, I did psychology and law at A level. And one of the things you learn at A level is psychology about emotion is how there's usually an onset, then you get the emotion, and then there's an offset. It's not immediate emotion, immediate end.
Yeah. And then there, the segue, especially I would say from sadness to anger, you don't just go, yeah, okay, now I'm angry. You do the, you motherfucker, and then you get mad.
Exactly. You get sad, very sad, frustrated
Yeah.
with the sadness, and then that turns into anger normally. The switch is just unparalleled.
Yeah. And watch how many times it happens as we go through this.
Overruled.
I am harassed, humiliated, threatened.
Notice the mirroring of
single
using
day.
all of the adjectives that Johnny Depp used the day before.
Even just walking into this courtroom, sitting here in front of the world, having the worst parts of my life, things that I've lived through, used to humiliate me.
And think about the rhythm that she's talking in as
People
well.
want to
That
kill
bum
me.
bum bum,
Yeah.
bum
They
bum
tell me
bum.
so every day. People want to put my baby in the microwave.
Now,
She stole that. She
I mean-
stole that from Britain, because that is actually a Rebecca. So there's a footballer called Jamie Vardy. His wife Rebecca Vardy was in the news at some point, I can't remember when, saying that people were threatening to put her baby in a microwave. So I don't believe that is her story. I believe she's stolen that from the media.
that's very interesting. What I was saying, aside from it's because lawyers have really sick sense of humor. I just thought that was a funny thing to say.
It was
to
a
somebody
funny
anyway.
thing to say, yeah.
But also, the thing is it's a shitty thing to say to anybody anyway. I don't doubt people have been giving her death threats and saying really horrific things about it. And I think it's generally a shitty thing to do. This is between them. And we can have all kinds of fun talking to each other, saying things about her, but saying things to her is a shitty move by anybody, I think. It's none of our fucking business when you come down to the end of it. And that's what I always hate. We've seen it everywhere. There's always the team this and the team that, and one team tries to destroy the other team by going after their team captain. I just think it's crappy that anybody would be sending her messages like that. I think it's fun to talk about them, but I personally wouldn't do it. That's just me.
Yeah, no, I don't think people should be going. It's like people who have been review bombing witnesses. I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, people have done things that we don't agree with, and obviously think people have done things wrong, but that doesn't mean their whole life should be ruined because of it.
Exactly.
And they tell me that Johnny threatened, promised me that if I ever left him, he'd make me think of him every single day that I lived. Objection, Your Honor, non-responsive.
Sustained objection as to that. If you want to ask the question.
I'd have had a
That's-
motion to strike there as well with the
Yeah.
non-responsive.
How did Mr. Depp's statements and threats to you that you were discussing, how do those continue to manifest themselves today?
Through a Ouija board.
In the harassment and the humiliation, the campaign against me.
That's where I disagree with her. How can she attribute
Mhm.
what random people on social media are saying to Johnny Depp? Johnny Depp isn't going out and paying people that don't like her to go on the internet and talk shit about her. People just don't like her. Excuse my language there.
No, exactly.
Every single day on social media and now in front of cameras in this room. Every single day I have to relive the trauma. My hands shake. I wake up screaming. I have to live with the trauma and the damage done to me. My friends have to live with a set of unspoken rules about how to not scare me.
Objection, hearsay.
Yes, sir.
See, did you see that? I have special rules so they don't scare me. Objection. She's like, what? Huh? Oh, okay, back to the story.
Unspoken rules.
Overruled. Go ahead.
About how to not touch me.
And do you notice how she
surprise
said
me.
unspoken rules to
And
get
my
out of the
partners
objection so that it
have
wasn't
rules.
hearsay?
How they can deal with me, how they can touch me. I have rules for doctors and medical professionals I see, gynecologists I see. I live my life with these sets of rules that I have to follow, my friends have to follow for me not to have a panic attack or a triggering event where I relive the trauma. Even if I'm training to do my movie, for instance, if I'm training for Aquaman.
All right. Now, this is what you were just witnessed for the last minute or so is the absolute world's worst job interview.
Yep.
She's complaining that her career is destroyed and she needs to work back to get her reputation back and her career back. And all she said for the last 2 minutes to anyone who's interested in hiring her is, I have panic attacks. People touch me wrong. I freak out. I'm scared. I do all of this. I have all these unspoken rules you're going to have to live with. They're going to go, yeah, I think we're going to go with somebody else. I mean, that was a dumb thing to say for anyone that wants to. I mean, people that have these real conditions, you know, that's a private one-on-one conversation you would have with your employer or your doctor.
She's
or
trying to say
whatnot.
this to everybody out there.
Yeah.
I mean, this whole rebuttal really is just her speaking to the court of public opinion.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
A combat scene and a trigger happens. I have a meltdown and have to deal with that. The crew I work with have to deal with that.
And the directors are
because
going, ugh,
of the damage
this
I
sounds
walk around
wonderful.
with every single day from what I've lived through, from what I've survived. I'm not sitting in this courtroom snickering. I'm not sitting in this courtroom laughing, smiling, and making snide jokes.
Yoga Bear saying DUI's got
horrible.
booted from the line. That'll be interesting to hear
This is
about.
painful. And this is humiliating for any human being to go through.
A great fake crying there,
Perhaps
Amber.
it's easy to forget that. But
I didn't see a single tear on her during this whole thing.
Yeah. I'm going to just kind of back this up real quick. So you can see that she, you know, dry crying is a thing. You know, that's not incomprehensible that someone is going to cry without tears, but that you have the involuntary like jaw scrunch and quiver thing that happens, and she doesn't have any of that. But let's go back like 1 minute and just kind of watch how this devolves into a good acting
I live
job.
my life with these sets of rules that I have to follow, my friends have to follow for me not to have a panic attack or a triggering event.
And then I'll tell you where my
I
sick
relive
mind
the
went
trauma.
with this.
Even if I'm training to do my movie, for instance, if I'm training for Aquaman, a combat scene and a trigger happens, I have a meltdown and have to deal with that. The crew I work with have to deal with that because of the damage I walk around with every single day from what I've lived through, from what I've survived. I'm not sitting in this courtroom snickering. I'm not sitting in this courtroom laughing, smiling, and making snide jokes. I'm not. This is horrible. This is painful. And this is humiliating for any human being to go through. And perhaps it's easy to forget that, but I'm a human being. And even though Johnny promised that I deserve this and promised he'd do this, I don't deserve this.
All right. This is just kind of where I have to go with this because I have problems. Give me one quick second here. This is the only thing I've been thinking about all day since I saw that.
Lol.
Amber Heard escaping the mob.
I am not an animal. I am a human being.
I am human.
I'm sorry. I have problems.
Oh, that's brilliant.
That's all I've been thinking about all day long. I'm sorry. When she just said that's the first thing that came into my mind. And God bless Jonathan Hurt. What a freaking amazing actor he was. Not to be confused with Amber Hurt. Yeah. All right, back to the trial.
I do hope that in closing they mention her turning on the bed. They've got to put that picture back in the jury's mind.
Yeah, just because it's never going to leave ours.
Exactly.
But, okay. Oh, nice. Oh, please. No, that wasn't that one. Wait, where'd it go? Oh, here it is.
Well, it depends how you want me to say it, because if I'm saying that, I'm saying it with the accent that comes with saying that, not my normal accent.
That's just mean, people. Well, because I had to work to get my native accent out of things. Where in my hometown in Utah, ignorant has no vowels except for the first I. It's just ignorant. IGNRNT is how it's spelled there, but
I don't need to pronounce T's half the time.
Yeah, ignorant. But anywho, I'm sorry for that little diversion. I just had to share my sick mind with other people.
I want to move on. The statements, the attacks on me, the campaign, that Johnny has elicited millions of people to do on his behalf.
Bullshit. Johnny has enlisted. Not many people are just bandwagoning onto Johnny.
Tug's on the Johnny Depp payroll. I'm sure that. I'm surprised they haven't tried to throw that accusation out there.
Yeah,
like they said it was the whole the biggest pro Depp account. If I was Amber's team, I would have probably made that jump and gone, "Wow, how do we know he's not a paid social media personality by Johnny?"
Tanya says, I deserve more subs. I cannot agree more. I deserve more subs. There's 1,180 of you here now, and I can guarantee that like 1,174 of you aren't subscribed to my channel. Take a few seconds, just go over there and give me a subscribe and a like if you're even minutely entertained by what I'm doing here. This is just kind of what I do. I'm sort of this sort of cut from the same cloth as Nick and Legal Mindset are. This is what I do. So hey, let's make me feel happy today. Give me a few likes and subscribes. And Jordy, what is your social media status at this point? Are you going to come and join the YouTube community at some point?
Potentially. I mean, I stream on Twitch anyway, so it's
you do
probably,
Twitch stream, okay?
Yeah, so it's probably not hard. I mean, YouTube's such a pain because like streams do well, but like putting a video of a stream up necessarily doesn't do well. But I might come over to YouTube eventually.
One of us.
When he himself
Objection, Your Honor,
couldn't do
lack
it.
of foundation.
Yeah, objection, foundation.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
And this is where they start to get catty with each other.
How the Depp Waldman statements impact
the objections, and then it goes into the cross.
To do charitable work.
Look how she stops and listens to her question.
The only reason that people like Dr. Kirby can sit up here on the stand and say I'm high functioning, I do things like have hobbies and have interests.
Objection, non-responsive.
Your Honor, Mr. Depp gave long-winded responses yesterday.
Good.
is because
We've got
I
a good
found
day
the
from
solution to that
Australia.
pain. I woke up.
I just
every
happen to
morning
be consuming
with
a
panic attacks
bottle of
and
Australia
trauma until I
released
realized I could do
Blanton's.
something with it. So to answer your question, Ben, I was able to turn the things that I've lived through, my pain, my life experiences, into work, into action, into providing a voice for other people. I'm not a saint. I'm not trying to present myself as one. As you all know, but
You're
I
not a saint, and you're not
selfishly
trying to
found
present yourself as a
relief.
saint.
But
I
everybody
challenge
else is lying.
any one of you 1,100 people that are watching this right now, go back through the testimony and find one single instance where she said, I did something wrong. There's the tapes of her saying she's done shit wrong, but where she says, yes, I did this and it was wrong. When has that come out of her mouth once in the last 6 weeks?
Quite a few times, I think.
You think? I don't think.
I don't think. Oh no, the opposite of what? Sorry, the opposite of that. I think she's pretty much said.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was the whole thing that we're going to get into here during the cross examination. Everybody says things about her. She has not said a single thing that I can recall where she said, "Yeah, I did this." Whereas the counter to that is Johnny has said. He said, "Yeah, I'm kind of a shitty human being. I have a ridiculous drug problem. I have a ridiculous alcohol problem, and I break my stuff, but I don't do that." Hey, Meatloaf. So we can play Meatloaf song here. He would do anything for Amber, but he won't do that. I mean, he's said, yeah, I'm not a perfect person. He's basically said, I'm kind of a piece of shit. I've been a piece of shit since I was a kid, and all these horrible things are happening, and I'm doing all these horrible things, but I'm not abusing women. And that's backed up by not a single person from his past coming back and saying he did it. The best they got was Ellen Barkin saying that at one point there was a group of people
to a wall.
Yeah, there was a group of people standing vaguely in front of him he was arguing with, and then he got pissed and just kind of tossed the bottle and walked out of the room, hitting nobody. That's the closest they have to a witness that credibly says he did something.
I mean, I couldn't believe that Amber tries to accuse Kate of being a clout chaser. Kate Moss, a clout chaser.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't think she needs to be doing that. She didn't need to speak out in the trial, but at the end of the day, she doesn't want to see Johnny be branded something that he's clearly not.
Yeah. And I told on my stream yesterday, I said, that is the kind of relationship I want, where if I get into some shit, I want a girlfriend from 30 years ago to come back and have my back.
Yeah.
That's the kind of relationship I want to have.
And being able to use what I've lived through to advocate for others, to bring light to these issues, to give a voice to people who don't have the voice and the platform that I have.
Never mind. Let's go keep going.
And while I would not wish this situation on my worst enemy,
except for Johnny Depp,
if it gives a voice to someone who doesn't have it. But I now, as I stand here today, can't have a career. I can't even have people associate with me because of the threats and the attacks that they have to endure.
Objection non-responsive.
And I can't do my charity work.
Sustain the objection.
I'm glad that objection was put in there,
Amber,
because
other
that
than
wole
the
I
threats
can't
that you
even
described,
work is
what
related to
other
her potentially
threats
being
have you
replaced
endured
in
since the
Aquaman
death
2.
statements
Yep.
were made?
I receive hundreds of death threats regularly, if not daily. Thousands since this trial has started. People mocking my testimony about being assaulted, making fun of my
Objection relevance.
that is the worst acting job I've ever seen right there. But again, we had the 2 minutes of the world's worst job interview ever. Now, the jury, who has been isolated, allegedly or supposedly, from social media for 6 weeks, that hasn't been able to talk to anyone about what's being said publicly. They have now just been told by her that the entire flippin' world is against her. She's just told everybody in the jury who may not have known this that nobody believes her. Nobody in the world believes her. Everybody is against her, and she has no supporters out there in the public. This was the dumbest thing. Well, this was one of the, I can't say this is the dumbest thing she said, because there's a lot of that coming up. This is one of the dumbest things she could possibly have said during this trial.
And it's not the first time it's happened from her team. We just
No.
have to go back to the hashtags and how Justice for Johnny
Yeah.
Depp was the most popular hashtag by far, telling the jury, oh yeah, the people out there in the world, they want justice for Johnny Depp. And literally, when Dennison said that on Cross, I was like, mate, I've
Yeah.
had concerns about you, but just with that one line, you've knocked it out of the park there.
Yeah. I mean, this is just stupid. So now, again, allegedly these people who have had no contact with the media or for the last 6 weeks about this trial now knows that she's a laughing stock. Ugh.
Non-responsive.
Comes to damages. You can continue.
It's been agonizing.
How agonizing was it?
Painful
She's having a laugh if she thinks it was that agonizing.
thing I've ever had to go through.
More agonizing than all of the alleged abuse you've been talking about?
I hope no one ever has to go through something like this.
Oh, I have the vapors, Lordy. I've got the vapors.
I just want him to leave me alone. I've said that for years now, and I thought he would after
Objection
2020.
non-responsive.
All right, I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
I have a question. She just wants Johnny to leave her alone. Is she going to appeal if she loses?
I think she will try, but do I think Elaine will do it? No, I think
No.
Elaine will turn around and say, look, we don't think that's a winnable thing to do. We're not going to be doing that for you. You're going to have to find another law firm. And do I think there's a law firm out there? Yes, but I think she's probably going to have to search far and wide for that law firm.
Yeah, I'm just kind of curious that someone who just says she just wants to be left alone. She just wants Johnny to
Well,
leave
if you
her
want to be
alone.
left alone, why countersue?
Yeah.
Because countersuit makes the trial longer. If you hadn't a countersuit, then you'd get it over and done with quicker, and you could both be leaving each other alone.
So if she appeals, if she loses and appeals, she puts the lie to that statement there. If he wins and she keeps talking about it, she's put the lie to it. I don't think this is the last we're going to hear from her, no matter what happens.
I think it's lose-lose if she does appeal, though, because a new judge is going to obviously look through the case, look through what's been
What do you
said,
hope to reclaim
and
after this is over?
Protecting the secret that I did for as long as I did has taken enough of my voice. Johnny has taken enough of my voice. I have the right to tell my story. I have the right to say what happened to me. I have the right to my voice and my name. He took it long enough. I have a right as an American.
I love that part. I have a right as an American.
I'm proud to be an American.
You know what
where
my
at
wife
least
said
I
when she
know
said that
I'm
yesterday?
free.
My wife turned around and said, well, doesn't Johnny also have a right as an American?
Yep. Well, this goes back to their argument. They have to make the argument. They're saying it's all about free speech, and we have our First Amendment, the right to free speech. So this is the whole, I'm an American. I have the right to say these things. Well, you got a right to get your ass sued off if you lie about it. You don't have the right to lie.
I know, yeah, what she said was published in America. It was what Waldman said that was published in the UK, wasn't it? Yeah. That's how I don't get how her countersuit flies in the US, because Waldman's statements were in UK media, not US. So you're bringing statements from a completely different country's media outlet into a US court.
But he's American.
I get that. I get that. Yeah.
That's where that's kind of the tie. I was trying to keep my blood pressure down, but this anyway.
All my story and my truth.
I need another drink.
I have that right. I hope to get my voice back.
Is that a whiskey bottle I spy?
And I've said that from day one.
It's Blanton's Bourbon, the Australian
Thank you,
bottling.
Amber.
Ooh.
I don't have anything else.
All right,
I
cross-examination.
used to be a whiskey guy, and then I moved on to rum.
I'm just starting to get into rum. Because one of my whiskey guy friends is a big rum guy.
Yes, yes.
All right, let's skip past this rather lengthy sidebar.
Where
And
she fakes to cry. Oh, look at Whitney. She doesn't look happy, does she? She kind of looks high.
She kind of looks like a concentration camp survivor to me here.
That too, yeah.
Or like, you know, one of these like a hostage, like blink 3 times if Amber's making you be here.
Blink 2 times if you want Amber to lose.
And then we have like she just looks like an elderly Renee Zellweger to me.
Yeah, I'm confused as to who she is, because that front bench is normally like all of Amber's team and people like that. So I'm confused as to who she is. She's
Isn't she
Public.
Isn't she Dr. Hughes?
No, that's not Dawn. No,
not?
no,
I thought it was.
That's too old to be Dawn. She looks, and maybe it's just a bad still, but it doesn't look like Dawn.
I thought it was. Whatever. I don't care. I couldn't care less. All right. This is where it gets brutal, ladies and gentlemen. If you have not seen this cross-examination, strap in, because this is going to be a wild cat fight of a ride. And if you have seen it, let's hit the highlights. And again, this is like freaking me out that there's 1,240 people in here right now.
Make sure you like this stream for Jeff and get him out into the YouTube world. Yeah, you kind of give me a subscribe. Smash your subscribe, smash your like, smash whatever you want and whoever you want. Just make sure you enjoy your legal vices. Somebody in the chat, why do I find Whitney hotter than Amber?
It's the heroin chick.
Oh dear.
It's the heroin chick, Next. I'm a Jeff, not a Geoff.
I thought it was a JEF and not a Goff. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, in my ninth grade geometry class, in high school, we had 9 Jeffs in the same class.
Oh wow!
So yeah, apparently in 1969, Jeff was one of the popular names. But as I always said, we have 8 Jeffs and 1 Geoff. So. All righty, moving right along. This is another awesome Camille cross-examination.
Ms. Jordy, you just testified that this case has been very hard for you. So let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
All right.
Your lies have been exposed to the world multiple times, right?
Boom! Right out of the
I'm
gate.
right about anything I've been here to say.
You sat here and told this jury that the events in Hicksville started with Mr. Depp getting really upset about a woman leaning on you. Is that correct?
Yes, that's effectively what happened, yeah.
You testified that he actually grabbed that woman's wrist and twisted it.
The blood is in the water and the sharks
And
are
he told
swimming.
her that he could effectively break her wrist by saying he knew how many pounds of pressure, or asking her how many pounds of pressure it took to break a human wrist.
But your own witness, your former best friend, Rocky Pennington, she didn't corroborate that, did she?
Keep score here again, by the way. This is just brilliant. I just love the way she did that. And the first example she starts with is even your best friend called you a liar.
I am a bit surprised she didn't hit home with that whole, oh yeah, your best friend that's not actually your friend anymore.
Yeah. And I would have said, okay, where is this woman? And the same, I would have said the same thing about the pilot, the stewardess. Where is the pilot?
I'm not quite sure what
Pilot,
part of that
stewardess.
night she saw. There were a lot of people there.
Yeah, there were a lot of people. Where are they? Where is one single freaking person in that parking lot? In that the trailer palace? The trailer palace in Hicksville. Where is one person in that whole large group of people testifying for you? It isn't there. It didn't happen. They're not there.
She didn't testify that Mr. Depp grabbed anyone's wrist in Hicksville.
Again, I don't know what Rocky saw. There were a lot of people.
Nice
there that
Laverne and Shirley
You
blast
testified
there,
that once
Gregor.
you brought Mr. Depp back to your trailer, he trashed it, correct?
Oh, yeah, I
That is
love
correct.
this.
And the manager of the Hicksville trailer park was furious that Johnny had wrecked the whole thing. Do you remember that testimony?
That's correct.
Well, we heard from that manager of the Hicksville trailer park, Morgan Knight, on Monday, didn't we?
I'm not quite sure who that guy was or if he had any involvement in this. I know a lot of people have come out of the woodwork.
He was the manager of the place.
Involved.
So you're accusing Mr. Knight of testifying and committing perjury?
I'm not accusing anyone. I just don't recognize that man.
You heard Mr. Knight testify that it was actually you who was upset with Mr. Depp spending time away from him. Isn't that correct?
How would he know? He wasn't there.
You heard Mr. Knight testify
He's the
that
manager.
it was actually you who
He's
was yelling
there.
at Mr. Depp.
Again, I've heard a lot of people say a lot of things to be involved in the Johnny Depp show, but he wasn't there. He doesn't know. And he certainly doesn't know what happened behind closed doors, like most people.
So you're calling Mr. Knight a liar?
I am saying he wasn't there, and
correct
what
answer
he
to that
testified to
question, Amber, is
doesn't
yes.
match what I know happened.
So yes,
But I don't fault him. He wasn't there, so how would he know?
that's
But I don't fault him. Yes, you do. You're
Yeah.
calling him a
Yeah.
liar.
yeah. I don't fault him for being a liar and perjuring himself on the stand because he wasn't there. He just wants to be part of the Johnny Depp show. I like the Billy Idol face here, by the way. That's cool. She got the Billy Idol face going.
You kind of got that smirk coming onto her face again. She's trying to
Yeah.
control it,
Yeah,
but you can definitely see it coming on.
yeah. That's a good lack of control there. But I don't fault him. Ugh. I don't fault the perjuring liar that's testifying in court against me. Dude, the dude was the manager. He owned the place. He created the freaking place. Of course he was there.
And why would he want to
Testify.
come out of the woodwork when he doesn't even own the place anymore?
Yeah. And I just love where she's going with this. You trashed the place. Johnny trashed the place and broke a $62 sconce.
He was there, Ms. Heard. Did you hear that?
That's his testimony, yes.
So you're calling him a liar.
I'm just saying he wasn't there.
Ugh.
You heard Mr. Knight testify that the trailer wasn't trashed, and that's why you're calling him a liar.
He testified that a light fixture was broken, similar
Trashed.
to the way that
Yes,
Johnny's
other than a light
employees
fixture. That was
testified
the
to
only
my
thing that was
closet being
broken, right, Ms.
rearranged
Heard?
and things
Ms.
like
Heard,
that.
the only thing that was broken in the trailer, according to Mr. Knight, was a light fixture. Yes or no?
I realized that he summed it up by saying a light fixture was broken, just the way his security guard summed up him trashing my closet as being rearranged.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to strike everything after he summed it up.
Good.
That
I
was
think
wrong.
she should have
She
granted
should-
that, but it got
It's not
denied,
She
which
should-
I
yeah.
think is wrong.
I agree with you. Should have
And the
been
security guard
stricken.
testimony, Your Honor.
I'll allow it. Go ahead.
Mr. Knight also testified that he charged Mr. Depp only $62 for the damaged light fixture. You heard that, correct?
I did.
In Hicksville, you were the only one that was jealous that Mr. Depp was spending time from other people. Isn't that correct, Ms. Heard?
That is incorrect.
In Hicksville, you were the one who was upset that Mr. Depp wasn't giving you enough attention.
Incorrect again.
Ms. Heard, you told this jury that you had no idea the press was going to be at the courthouse when you got your TRO on May 27th, 2016. Do you remember that testimony?
I said I did not have anything to do with it. Yes.
No. My question again. You told this jury that you had no idea that the press was going to be outside after you got the ex-party TRO on May 27th, 2016. Do you remember?
I was just just joking. Going back to the trailer park guy's testimony when he didn't even charge them the cleanup fee. I mean, that's
You
how
mean the
not
piggy
trash.
fee?
I was gonna say that's why I was laughing and choking on my whiskey because I just heard this. I didn't charge them the piggy fee, so they didn't get charged the piggy fee.
Yeah, it was trash.
Yeah. Well, now this is again. I love how Camille is escalating this as it goes. Went from angry, a little bit upset to angry to miffed, and now Camille's going to boost this up into like legit catfighting.
Remember that testimony?
I apologize. I must have misunderstood Ms. Vasquez. I actually had no idea whether they were going to be there or not. When I walked into the courtroom that day, it was completely quiet,
Bullshit.
still empty.
Bullshit.
Even though I had given Johnny's team notice that I was filing the
Objection. Your
TRO,
Honor, this is not
we had no
responsive.
reason to
Move to
believe the
strike.
press knew.
And Your Honor, I would also ask that you instruct the witness to please stop talking once I lodge an objection.
Your Honor, she's trying to answer the question as best she can, and Ms. Vasquez is misrepresenting to her what she does.
Mr. Rottenborn's comments
Yeah.
are a
I'll
bit
strike the last
stupid
part as
there because the witness is supposed to shut up as soon as the attorney says objection.
Exactly. Well, as soon as the word
In fact, you
objection comes, you
testified that you
shut
were,
up.
quote, shocked when you saw press when you were leaving the courthouse. Yes?
Yes.
You weren't shocked at all, though, were you?
Incorrect. It was
You knew the press
horrifying.
would be at the courthouse, right, Ms. Heard?
No.
Well, you did bring your publicist to the courthouse with you on May 27th, 2016, didn't you?
I sure did. I'm a public figure. I brought my publicist in case it blew up.
And that makes no sense whatsoever. You file it secretly.
No. It makes sense because she said previously that TMZ has an office in that courthouse. So if you know you're going into a courthouse where there's a media office, you would take your publicist. But I don't believe that she didn't know they were going to be there.
Yeah. I did not catch that TMZ had an office in the courthouse.
I don't know if that's true.
Oh.
I don't know if they do have an office there, but that's what she said back on when she was on the stand originally.
I can't imagine there would be a separate office in the courthouse. Maybe right next door would make sense for them, but especially in Los Angeles, I guess. I mean, this is just so stupid. And why is it stupid? I mean, this for me, and it bothers me that no one has ever brought this up. She didn't want anybody there. She didn't tell anybody. She doesn't know, but she brings her publicist. So, okay, we'll just say they're friends, and maybe they knew there was a TMZ office, and courts have back doors.
Yeah, and that's normally where high-profile figures go. They usually go in through the back door, out through the back door, straight into a vehicle, and away they go.
And I'm assuming this was filed in the LA County Courthouse. I've never seen the LA County Courthouse, but I would assume there's more than one door, more than two doors, probably 4 or 5 doors, plus a service entrance. I guarantee you there was more than one option. If she didn't want it, she wanted to protect Johnny, and she didn't want to do this, all she had to do was walk towards the front door and go, holy shit, there's a shit ton of paparazzi out there. Bring the car around the back.
Yeah, it's not hard. I mean, you would
That's
see
it.
them before you left the courthouse, or I would assume your publicist would tell you as you're walking out, oh, by the way, there's a bunch of journalists out front.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's what the publicist is there to do at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, that is, I mean, it just kind of bothers me that nobody's mentioned that. I mean, because that is just so stupid. You go out, it's not like sliding steel Star Wars blast doors. There, you can see there's a herd of paparazzi outside. You don't have to go out there unless you want to. Just saying.
In case.
You actually had alerted TMZ that you would be filing a TRO against Mr. Depp that very day, didn't you?
No, I did not.
The one day you didn't bother to wear makeup to cover up the mark on your face.
I did not call TMZ or any other news source or paparazzi source. No one.
Well,
I never did that.
Testimony from former TMZ employee Morgan Tremaine yesterday, correct?
Did I hear his testimony?
Yes.
Yes, I was here.
Yeah. And you heard Mr. Tremaine's testimony that he knew to dispatch the paparazzi to the courthouse on May 27th, right?
I heard him say that he knew that, yes.
Yeah, and that he dispatched paparazzi to the courthouse to capture a picture of an alleged bruise on the right side of your face. Do you remember him saying that?
I remember him saying that.
That information must have come from your team, right, Ms. Heard?
Absolutely not. Why would I want that? What actual survivor of domestic violence wants that?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. What survivor of domestic violence wants that? None. What type of an Amber Heard wants it? Amber Heard.
Exactly, yeah. I agree on that. I mean, that was like one of the most ridiculous statements she made during her whole thing. What kind of victim wants this? And it's like, well, obviously nobody, but you clearly do.
Yeah, and again, I mean, the thing we have is in my streams, the angriest people are women that have actually suffered this kind of experience. They're the ones that are more pissed at her. I mean, personally, I don't care about Johnny Depp. I don't care about Amber Heard. I care about justice, law, and honesty.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm doing this, because this is just ridiculous. But the people who have lived through this genuinely are pissed.
Yeah, and that's what I've seen, like on Twitter, online, everywhere. Like, so many DV and SV victims online are just going, well, she's clearly full of shit. DV victims normally band together. Why do you think we're not banding around with her? And so many people are angry over her, and I get it. I get why they're angry. I mean, they have that right to be angry, especially if she is lying about all of this kind of stuff. So, I just hope this raises that wider socio-political view of, okay, yeah, people can lie about this kind of stuff, and yeah, men can be victims, because obviously that kind of thing should be the outcome of this. No matter what the jury decides, the wider outcome should be that those two topics are actually discussed.
Well, now there's a bunch of people in the chat saying that DUI guy got kicked out of line and he wants to come on my channel. Is that like a thing?
Let me.
Oh, there's a lot of people saying this. Is this a thing? Because I would assume there's one or two other channels he can get on.
I believe only Ian and Rob got in.
You bought a spot in line for 4K.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's what I've heard. Yeah, that he bought a spot in line and the police won't let him in because of it. Which, I mean, it's down to them who they let in the courthouse at the end of the day, I guess. And I don't think anybody else is streaming at the moment. So if he does want to pop on, it probably is true. I mean, drop him a DM with the link and see if he wants to.
Well, I guess we can do
Larry's
that.
a cool dude. Larry will have comments on the cross-exam from yesterday.
Well, I'd be interested to hear it. Dang. Let me see if we can pull something up here. Talk about something while I'm multitasking. This is why I need to become famous and have people to do this crap for me.
But I think today will be interesting with the closing arguments. I mean, people have been asking in chat whether the court's live today. So court will be live today, I would imagine, because they've got closing arguments 2 hours each, and then they'll go to lunch, and then the jury will get called back. They'll do jury instructions, and then they'll go off and do jury deliberations. I would assume that's how it's going to go anyway. And in terms, there's other people asking in what order they'll go as well for the closing argument, so it'll go Johnny Amber, Johnny Amber.
Okay, I sent him a message. I mean, he hasn't sent me any messages on Twitter, so I don't know. So I mean, he has my Twitter stuff, but I will monitor Twitter and see what happens here. All right. Well, I will keep my Twitter feed open here, and we'll jump back into this.
Video of Mr. Depp beating up some kitchen cabinets. You admit that you took that video, correct?
Yes, I did.
And you acknowledge that the
establishes
video was
copyright.
released online the day before you were deposed in connection with your divorce from Mr. Depp in August of 2016, right?
I believe it was, yes.
But you testified that you had absolutely nothing to do with the video's release, right?
Absolutely not.
And you testified that you learned about it when you landed after flying into LA. Do you remember that testimony?
Upon touchdown is when I was alerted to the video's
You
existence.
heard
Bullshit.
Mr. Tremaine testify about this video as well yesterday.
No, that's not bullshit. She
Yes,
was
I did.
alerted on
You heard
touchdown
Mr.
when she
Tremaine
posted it.
testify that TMZ received
Okay.
the cabinet video
I'll give you
the same
that.
day you landed at LAX. Yes?
I don't know if that's what his testimony was. I'm sorry.
You heard Mr. Tremaine testify that the cabinet video was posted 15 minutes after TMZ received it. Yes?
That's what I heard him say.
And that this could only have been possible if the video was received directly from the source. Yes?
I heard him say that. I don't know if that's true or if that's possible because
And
it
you
didn't come
heard
from me. I was
Mr.
flying.
Tremaine
So
testify.
I know that's incorrect is what I mean to say.
Are the closing arguments also time
Another
limited?
line
Yes,
that
2
we
hours
understand.
apiece.
I just know that that's incorrect.
Right. And you heard Mr. Tremaine testify that TMZ owns the copyright to the cabinet video, right?
That's news to me.
The cabinet video you filmed of your then husband. Yes?
The copyright ownership of that is news to me. I learned that yesterday.
It's the cabinet video that you captured of your then husband. Yes?
That is correct. I did capture that video. And
The
yes,
cabinet
that was my
video-
husband.
The same cabinet video that was released the night before you were deposed in your divorce. Yes?
That's correct.
You must have also heard Mr. Tremaine testify that the version of the cabinet video that TMZ received was incomplete compared to the video the jury saw in this trial. Did you hear that?
The video that that you have seen is complete.
Right. But the one TMZ got the day before your deposition in the divorce was incomplete.
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
He testified that at the beginning portion of the video where you set up the camera, that wasn't included in the video that TMZ received.
I don't know what video TMZ.
I love the way
talking
she
about
tries
Mr.
to walk
Tremaine's
around these
testimony.
questions.
Let's just
You're
focus on
asking me
Mr.
to
Tremaine.
repeat his testimony.
Right, yeah.
No, I'm asking you if you recall hearing him say those words to this jury.
Yes,
Under
I
oath.
heard his testimony. We all did.
And he testified that the end of the video where you can be seen smirking. I know you testified earlier that you haven't been smirking in this trial, but you sure were caught on camera smirking in that video.
Boom. That's pretty damaging.
That's
everything she just
said. There.
Yeah, everything she just said is so damning of her testimony.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to have to jump off.
Alrighty.
Because I've got a work meeting in 10 minutes, so I need to go and prep for that. If you're still streaming when I finish, if you want me back on, I'm more than happy to jump back in.
Yep, I'm probably going to be here for about another 30 minutes and then heading on over to Nick's when he starts.
Nice. Awesome. Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for having me, and I shall speak to you all later.
Talk to you soon. Take care. Okay. Now, this is bad news for her because the only person, this was her phone, the video from her phone. She owns the video on her phone. TMZ, when they broadcast it, it had the TMZ copyright information, their watermark, which means TMZ owned her video at the time they put it up. TMZ bought this video from her and put it up, and she's saying she doesn't know how they got it.
I disagree with that.
Was also not included in the TMZ video.
Everyone can watch that video and you can determine whether you think it's funny to me or not.
That's because the video came from you, right, Ms. Hurd?
No, it did not.
You
That
edited
video
out
did
the
not
portions.
come to me. I
Ms.
mean,
Hurd,
come from me.
Nick's channel is
you edited
Raketa
out the
Law.
portions that made you look bad before sending it to TMZ.
You're very wrong about that.
So
If
that
I
only
wanted to
Mr.
leak
Depp
information, I
looked
could have
bad.
done it in a more effective way.
Now, I mean, this is kind of an important thing. If you remember earlier on, she testified she didn't know how to leak information. She couldn't have leaked this information because she didn't know how. Now she's saying that she would have done it worse. I mean, this is a complete contradiction for what she was testified to earlier.
A lot sooner and a lot more.
Because you
I
knew
was
exactly
living
how to
with
do
a
that,
mountain
right?
of this evidence. If I wanted to leak it, I could have done a lot more with it.
I thought you testified earlier in this trial that you didn't know how to leak things.
I
Remember
don't.
that? Right. You edited that video before you gave it to TMZ so that only Mr. Depp would look bad. Yes?
That's absurd.
Right in the middle of your divorce proceedings.
Again, you're very wrong.
I'd like to show you a picture that's already admitted into evidence. It's Defendant's Exhibit 799. This is you at the courthouse on May 27th, 2016, when you got your domestic violence restraining order against Mr. Depp, right?
It is.
And next to you is a woman named Jordy Gottlieb, right?
Yes.
Jordy Gottlieb is your publicist.
And dear friend.
Now I'd like to show you what's been marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 1316.
Oh, yeah, this
This is a picture of you and your friend Rocky Pennington, right?
That is correct.
is the next
Your Honor,
day.
I'd like to move to admit this photograph.
Any objection to 1316?
No, Your Honor.
All right, 1316 in evidence. You can publish to the jury.
This is a picture of you on May 28th, 2016, right, Ms. Hurd?
I don't know when this was taken.
This is the day after you obtained the domestic violence restraining order against Mr. Depp, right?
I have no idea when this image was taken. I did not take it.
There's no bruise on your face in this picture, is there?
Again, I don't know when this was taken. And also, I'm outside. I was obviously wearing makeup. I have no idea when this was taken. So I have no idea if I can
Let's
speak to
refresh your
what
recollection.
bruise you can see
Let's
or not.
refresh your recollection about when this picture was taken. Can we please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1315, just for the witness? This is an article dated May 30th, 2016, right, Ms. Hurd?
That's what it says, yes.
And this article contains the same photograph of you and Miss Pennington we were just looking at. Yes?
Yes, I see that.
And the article is entitled Amber Heard Smiles as She Puts Arm Around Friend One Day After Getting Restraining Order Against Johnny Depp. Is that what the title says?
I know that's what the title says, yes.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to admit and publish the article with everything but the headline and date and the photo redacted.
Objection, Your Honor. That's inconsistent from the way you treated all of these.
See the objection. All right, next question.
Let's take a look at picture Plaintiff's Exhibit 1317.
Oh, hang on here.
This is also a picture of you and Miss Pennington. On
Hey.
2006.
Hello, Nate. Welcome back.
I don't know when
Hey,
this
welcome,
photo was
welcome.
taken,
Listen,
but
I don't
it's
think you
nowadays,
mind.
it's fine.
I'm hoping you don't
Your Honor,
mind. I sent DUI Guy. I DM'd him the link to the stream because he was. looking
I
to
sent
get
him
on
one
to
too.
get- All right. Yeah, I sent him a link. I was just as like, let me make sure before he pops in. You're like, what?
Yeah. And he's here. He's backstage now. I'm just chat. I don't want to fucking hear it. Okay, I'm just gonna say that right now. I don't want to hear it. Not my circus. Not my monkeys. I'm going into private chat now, so I don't see it. We're just gonna talk about whatever it is that's going on with the courthouse. And that's it. That's all I'm gonna say about
Drama
that.
free zone. Yep, drama free zone.
Welcome.
Hey, you are a hard man to DM. I just sent you a DM, and it's like
Nate,
it's
I'm sorry.
flops, bro.
If I could show you, I have received about 50 messages in the last 3 minutes.
Oh man, yeah, because I was like, so as soon as because I was like, damn, he didn't get in the court. Then you were like, I want to go on somebody's stream. I'm like, legal vices is up. Legal vices is
Well, I was looking at the stream, and this. I mean, I don't have 3,000 viewers ever. I think my single stream maximum one-time limit was 104 at one point, but
Go
legal
to
mindset.
Vices. Go to Legal Vices. I'm sorry, I'm talking to my chat real quick.
Okay.
Go to Legal Vices. I'm over there. You guys are going to get pushed into as soon as I conclude this stream. All right, here we go.
Yeah, and legal mindset was I was supposed to go with him, and then when he had to go to sleep because he's flying out in about 12 hours from now from Korea to America. I'm in Korea too. So he just said, I have crappy connection issues, so I'm dumping everything on you. So I had to go live immediately, and all of his people joined me. And then this is how I ended up apparently with 3,300 people watching me at the moment. Oh, good Lord, we're up to 4,000 already. But anyway, yeah, I said I've turned off I've gone to private chat because I just, I don't want to hear any of this shit.
Yeah.
They're doing. So what's up?
Yeah, we haven't been in the streams in a while, bro. Tell us what's going on inside it, because you're like literally in the middle of the beast, bro. What's up, man? What's been going on?
Okay, so here's the sticky.
Yeah.
Last night I go to sleep. I wake up this morning assuming that we had line sitters and everything was peachy. Unfortunately, our hashtag line mom, Jamie, had some family stuff she had to do, so she couldn't be there. And I knew that. I knew that ahead of time going in. She's been managing the line for us basically for like the last 4 days. I think every single day, if I'm not mistaken. So Jamie was not there to police, basically. Our friend Ina was number 1 in line. And Vanessa was number 7. Rob and Ian were like numbers, 20, 21, something like that. Who else did we have in there? James slept, I slept, and I was hoping maybe Elizabeth and I and James would get in. Oh, Scott's there. Scott is also there. Scott is in line. Well, I arrive. And I'm like shaking because it's the last day. I'm excited. There's this hype. I'm like talking to my chat. I've never, from here to the courthouse is like 5 minutes. By the time I get to the courthouse, I'm already at like 10,000 people watching at the same time. It used to be like 1,500 by the time I would get, not 10,000.
This was just doing your normal daily.
This is me just
chat
walking
while you drive. Yeah.
Yeah, with my selfie stick.
Yeah.
This one right here. And I arrive, and the line is kind of very frazzled. I see there's a lot of discontent. I'm just sitting on the bench chilling. I said, look, do you honestly think that I'm going to betray my reputation, put everything on the line just to get a spot for a trial I've already have had 6 spots in for 6 days, 2 consecutive and then 4 consecutive? And the lady, and I know her. This is the saddest part of it all. She has seen me before, and I said, look, I got this under control. I'll figure it out. And she's just like, she's got this going on, like in my face. I'm like, lady, we'll figure it out. Even Ina steps to my defense. She's like, it's okay. We'll figure things out. And I'm already thinking in my head, if we don't have line sitters, I'm going to have to make a proposition,
Yeah.
Money talks, bullshit walks. You guys, am I allowed to swear in your stream, Legal Vices?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not aware of the quorum rules. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, you're good.
This is my first time. I've talked to Nate before. I know.
Yeah.
I don't think I've been on Nate's channel, but I've been on others. And anyway, I've never been on Legal Vices, for the record. That's true, right? Legal. We never talked.
Yep.
Like
Nope. This is the first time we've actually talked. Yeah.
Because you're the only one awake. You and Nate.
Well, I had kids to take. I took kids to school, so I got back. So I was like, "Oh,
no,
God,
dude,
this is great."
it's okay. It's all right. Don't worry about it. Anyway, so I get there, and the line gets very, very aggressive because this woman is going around spreading falsity, spreading rumors, saying he's cutting, and I'm like, okay, all right, to diffuse the situation, there's only one way out of this. I need to walk across 30 feet away to the sidewalk by the courthouse. That's the only way. And the line calms down. So, mob rule. I'm very familiar with mob rule. I've studied mob rule. I understand the psychology behind it. And this is like what all my tools came into play. I was like, all right, exit the situation, diffuse. Then I walk back and I say, I start offering money myself. I go, look, I'll give you $500. That was my first offer. I said, I'll give you $500 if you relinquish your place in line. They're all laughing at me. I'm just like, all right, so 500 is not enough. There's got to be a number. Well, I got to figure out what the number is. And as I'm negotiating, this lady goes, I'll do it for 1,000 to somebody else. Oh. I didn't hear it because I was talking. And then they go, hey, she said she'll give 1,000. I said, who? And I walk over and I say, who said that? Who said that? She said, I'm considering it. It's all on my live stream.
So you were still live streaming?
I was live. This whole thing, this entire thing is on the internet on my channel right now. You can go watch it. This is unprecedented stuff. So I go and the line starts. I hear audibly, the lady is back. And she is riling up the line. And you feel the line literally went from a 0 to a 12.
Wow.
On a scale of 10. And immediately I was like, all right, back to exit. So I exit again. I exit the line. A couple of people come up, start talking to me. Sarah and Baruch, I think his name was. I can't remember. Again, it's on my stream. And I'm like, I need you guys, if you want to assist, tell people I'm going to give 1,000. That's my new number. And I basically started going up from there. I started at 500, then it was 1,000, then it was 2,000, then it was 3,000. Eventually it came to $4,000. And I have, by the way, I can show you guys, I took a screenshot of the payment.
Hold on. I'm sorry. So somebody. So did you actually?
Well, hold on. I'll get there. Oh, get there. Give me
I'm excited.
Right? I couldn't send her 4,000 directly because my bank account blocked it. So I sent it in 2 transactions of 2,000. She's been paid, and she's still going to get. I promised her a wristband. Number 4. She is going to get it 100%. I just need somebody to help me get in touch with her. The internet to the rescue. They'll find her.
Bro, that's some serious jack to be thrown down for a seat in court.
It's the final day, dude. I respect the biz,
That's true.
Negociaciones son negociaciones. You ever heard that?
Yeah.
So anyway, but let me back up. So I kind of went a little too fast. So as I'm going up, 1,000, 2,000, I'm literally standing there live streaming and I just yell, the number is now, 2. And I watch the crowd, the reaction. When I went from 500 to 1,000, there was a little bit of commotion, not too much. When I went from 1 to 2, 0 reaction. Then when I went from 2 to 3, people started commoting again. And by the time I got to 4, I saw a boyfriend and girlfriend who are literally standing there like this, and they're like, and he's like, oh, I don't know.
You'd have had me at 2. I don't know how these people are waiting at 4. You'd have had me at 2. Deal.
Well, see, that's where the bad negotiation. You should go. All right, 2. That was it. I'm walking away. Nobody wants to. Fuck it, I'm gone. And then wait.
But then I would have walked away with nothing legal.
But don't you think somebody would have gone, oh, okay, never mind, I'll do it. But anyway.
I don't know. Maybe. But it's too much of a risk. By the way, you have nearly 10,000 people watching you right now.
Oh, my.
I know. My God.
If like 1 or 2 of you want to subscribe to me,
that'd be
I
great.
appreciate it.
Subscribe to this guy. Subscribe to Nate. Subscribe. Legal Vices, what is your actual name?
My name is Jeff.
Jeff. Okay. I didn't know if it was public or not.
Yeah.
My name's Larry.
Yes,
nice to meet you.
I'm aware.
Okay, you're aware. Obviously.
Yeah.
I know. You formal formalities, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get back to the story. So time is ticking because now it is 6:51. Finally, we have a bite. Vanessa walks over and says, I'll do it. She gives me her tag. That's what I just showed you. I pay her. I promise her the wristband once I get out of court because I don't have it with me. She confirms the money is with me. She even transfers one of it instantly. And she's like, why did I only get $19.85? I was like, did you do instant? Because they take 1%. She's like, I'm such a dumbass. I shouldn't have done that. I'll do the bank transfer. And then I'm like, yeah, that's cool. You got it. And she's like, confirmed. Are we good? Are we good? Are we good? We hug. And then I walk to the line together with her. The deputies are already lining up. And everybody was like, hey, this is Vanessa. I'm taking her spot. Everybody in line is like, yep, yeah, you got it, man. No problem. No commotion. 0. Like on a scale of 0 to 10, it's at a -1 commotion.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So everything is cool. Everything is chill. Everything is peachy. Now, as soon as I take my place in line, Lieutenant Taggart comes up to me with 3 other deputies surrounding him, very authoritative. Look, we're lawyers. We've been to court. We've cross-examined cops on the stand. Yeah. The power is not going to intimidate me. Like I'm excited and nervous for other reasons, but your presence does not have an effect on me because I'm used to it. I'm used to being surrounded by cops.
But and in your professional capacity, have you ever met these officers?
Yeah, every day. Okay. Every day
so
that I'm there.
You know these guys.
So I know every single one of them, practically by name. I know Officer Peacock. I'm sorry. Well, his name is Officer, but his real name is Deputy Peacock. He became a meme because he's the most officer that you've ever seen. He's got the mustache and he rides a motorcycle. He's fucking cool as shit. He's every morning he sees me. I go, "Good morning, deputy," and he looks at me and he goes, "Oh boy."
Okay.
He's one of those. Anyway, so I know Deputy Peacock. Yeah.
No, I was saying, but 3 deputies walking over to you. That seems a little strange, right? Because
four.
Yeah,
3 deputies and Lieutenant Taggart. So 4.
Yeah, that sounds strange.
And he's the older guy with the white mustache and the bald head. And I mean, he's cool. I've seen him like every single day I've been there. Even last Monday when I was here, he was the one controlling the line when we had to vacate the premises for the 12:30, whatever that they had. Remember, no lining up before 1 a.m. was the rule. Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, so it's him. And he's like, "Sir, I'm going to need you to exit the line." I go, "Why?" He goes, I just watched you walk up. I'm like, "Yes, I am aware of that." The line members, and they all confirmed I have nods on live stream. Everybody's on the same page. You know how people will speak the truth.
Yeah.
And they spoke their truth. They said, yeah, we watched them conduct a transaction. Vanessa has been here for hours and hours and hours. And she left. She's gone. She went home because I took her spot. And the deputy says, no spots. No spot switching. This is back of the line. Go back.
Oh, that's bullshit.
I go, wait a minute. Hold on. Why? And then my mind starts racing. Like, hold on a second. Lieutenant Taggart has limited authority. I like to call him the bishop. So I'm a chess player. So for me, chess analogies are very easy to make when it comes to authority. No offense, but it's just an analogy. I'm not like trying to downplay you are very, very important people. Deputies are extremely important. They keep the courthouse safe, the streets safe, and
Yeah, you just make it
no hate on them. But most of them are pawns in this chess game. They're just following orders.
Of course. Yeah.
You know,
So.
but Lieutenant Taggart is the bishop.
Yeah.
He's not a rook. That would be the one above him. But he's a bishop, and the bishop, although has authority to command the pawns, the bishop also has a rook and a queen and a king above him.
Mm-hmm.
And Taggart knows me. He has seen me before. He knows exactly who I am. I mean, I'm dressed like this, for God's sake, every single day.
Yeah.
So I myself, and I got this from chat, they believe that there has been some intervention into letting the deputies know to keep me out of line. I don't know if it was the defense's PR team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was somebody else. But it was a person. It was obviously a human of male or female capacity that has given direct orders to somebody who has given direct orders to somebody else who has given direct orders to somebody else who has given direct orders to Lieutenant Taggart, who is giving those orders to me.
Yeah,
because the rules have been followed. The rules of the line, the mob rule has been followed. And as I get to, let me finish the story just real quick. That's the meat of it. Now here's the final potatoes. Okay. As I'm approaching, I say, that's okay. Like, I'm good. Like, he's like, okay, that's fine, but you're not getting in. And he walks away. I go, okay, all right. And I'm standing in line. I'm like, I want to see this. I'm not just gonna like take his word for it. You know, I'm an attorney. We question everything. We question authority. We question the rules. Sometimes we question what people tell us. We don't rely on hearsay. And what he said is hearsay. He's not at the table. It's 3 other deputies. Now, obviously, they're all in cahoots. I'm not an idiot.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, oh, maybe I can squeeze in. Like, I'm not. You know. Obviously, I'm preparing for what's about to happen, and I just wanted it memorialized for eternity on the internet of the insane, because it's my turn, right? It's my turn to come up. 6 or 7 people already went. They're in front of me. I was number 7 or 8. I can't remember which spot I purchased for $4,000 and a wristband of number 4 wristband, which you will get. By the way, let me just show you real quick that I do have it, because Chad has been asking for this. Just real quick, hold on. That's number.
So you have the wristbands
11.
from every day you've attended?
Of course, yeah. 41.
Signed by Camille.
7. Number 4.
Yeah.
Number 4 wristband.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's gonna get it. Vanessa is gonna get this wristband. I also have numbers 41, 11, 7, and at home I have 28 and 81.
But it from what you're saying though,
let me just finish, Nate. I'm sorry. Can I just finish?
Yeah.
Please.
Right,
I'm
go
almost
ahead.
done. I promise. I already vented, but you asked me for the story, so I'm giving it to you.
Oh yeah, no, we want to hear.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
As I get to the front of the line, the deputy points to the person behind me and goes, next. And I go, wait, what about me? Obviously, you know, and she goes, nope, I'm sorry. And I woke up, are you serious? And like, sir, we need you to move. Please get out of the line. Sir, we need you to move. And what are you going to do? I get out of line.
Oh, wow. Yeah, somebody, I think you're right. I think somebody above put the word out. Like, yo, we're going to, if there's any issue with this guy, we're going to make sure this guy doesn't get in. That seems like what happened today. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, let's start the cross-examination. Is there are there any line rules that have been established about commercial transactions not being permitted to buy spaces in line?
Nope.
Yeah, but three or 4 deputies coming to one person all of a sudden after the transaction's made, the other person's gone. It just all just seems too convenient, you know. And then other people are doing this too, right? Other people purchased places in line,
and
got into the court. Yeah,
because I know they were employing the line sitters for $500 a day beginning fee. So I know that.
Yes,
so line sitting is okay.
Thing. Line sitting is okay. And I basically, I created an impromptu line sitter. That's what I did. I converted a attendee that was there to watch
Yeah.
into a line sitter voluntarily. She came up to me.
And did they give you any other indication of why they were booting you out of line? Any justification other than than they thought you were skipping the line?
They never said skipping. They said you have to go. What did they say? Chat will probably tell you better. My brain was racing so much. I'm trying to remember I can tell you visually what I visually experienced, but audibly, I don't remember the exact verbiage. Chat will tell you. Chat will tell you.
Chat always does. They always remember things better than the people. So I'd imagine the adrenaline was kind of spiked at that point. And how, in retrospect, looking at your own position, would you say you were overly combative due to adrenaline rush, or were you just asserting your position, or was it a calm interaction with the officers?
It was very calm. It was extremely calm. I'm a man. Listen, I'm a man of stature. I have a reputation to maintain. At the end of the day, it's one fucking day of an event I've been to so many times. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Who cares? I just want to know why. That's my only question is what and why and who. Those are my three questions. I shouldn't say one. What, why, and who.
And what are your answers to those questions from your perspective?
It's premature to say. I don't know.
And how did it end? Was it like fuck you, or did it end cordially? Did it end well with them? Or
it ended very well. It actually ended with me shaking Lieutenant Taggart's hand, and I said, "I know you had nothing to do with this. You were just following orders." And he just looked at me and he nodded, and I walked away.
Well, what's the next step? Are you going to try to pursue getting answers, or are you just chalking this up to?
No, I'm chalking this up to it's done, and let's move forward.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing to do for the day too. Sorry this happened to you, bro.
It's all right. It happens, man. I have more stories in the last 2 weeks than I've probably had in my 34 years on the planet. So
it's a great outlook, bro. It's a great outlook.
And I mean, you've had some unique experiences sitting online and being in the courtroom for the past week. I guess you've been there.
I've been here all week, and then last week I was there for 2 days.
Well, has the adrenaline rush worn off from all of this yet? And you're kind of
I'm just thirsty. I don't have anything to drink. So I'm looking around constantly for like something to hydrate me. So actually, I'll be right back. Let me get a glass of water.
Yeah, it's obviously somebody. Well, from what I'm believing, because every day there's line sitters. Every day they do something like this, and all of a sudden today they're just going to pick out one person. So it's obvious. I think what's going on, because I think his coverage may have not been too kind to the Amber side. They probably. And he's got this nice following, so
and I have zero information. Amongst LawTube guys, I am the newest of the new, so I literally have no ponies in this particular horse race. And so I mean, it's interesting to get the perspective, and that's sort of why I'm just taking the middle road, because I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. I didn't see the interaction. I didn't see the live, because I've watched DUI Guy's last few live streams
in the morning
when I wake up in the morning.
I like how they're driving to the court, because it doesn't make you, but put you there. Like I'm experiencing with them, right? And even the line thing. So
and my God, we have 10,000 people here now. That is insane to me.
No, but you remember you just said you needed those hours, but you got them now in spades, so you don't got to worry about that anymore.
Fuck yeah, I'm probably monetized already, and I don't even know it.
Congratulations.
8, 9, 10, like 3,000 new subscriptions in the past 25 minutes. That's not too bad. For the 9,700 of you that are here now, like me and subscribe me, man. I'm coattailing DUI Guy's grift, man.
Hey,
I have
DUI
to-
Guy,
I have to say
don't-
this one thing that I forgot to mention. The reason I'm moving past this, people might be asking why, because the truth will come out, and it's not my responsibility. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's
yeah.
up, Nate? What do you want?
No,
to say?
we were just saying that Legal Vices. It's great that you came on because he needed to like 3,000 more watch time hours to get monetized. So we were just like, oh man, I hope
dude, you're
I
not
hope
even
people-
monetized
and then
yet.
you
Are you
came- and
kidding
then when
me?
when you said you were coming on, I was like, yo, yes, he's gonna get it. He's gonna get it. And then you all of a sudden came and I was like, he blew out
People are like,
all the numbers.
don't have
It's,
him
like,
on.
so
Don't have the
fucking
drama.
great.
Don't have the drama.
Dude,
I'm like,
congrats. Are you
no,
monetized now?
Nate and DUI Guy?
You have
Fuck
to
yeah,
be.
I'm having him on my channel. I'm not
Oh,
an idiot.
don't let us on DUI Guy because it's too much drama. I was like, what are you talking about? You know?
Well, 'cause, I mean, I at the earlier today, what was the number when I woke up this morning? I had
You said like 3,000 something that you need.
I had 8,638 subscribers when I woke up. So I had that, but I only had 900 viewing hours. Well, that got taken care of.
I think you're okay with that
See,
right now.
what
Thank you
did I
so much,
say,
DUI
Chad?
Guy. This was
Dude,
amazing, bro.
Dude, don't thank me. Thank the chat. They're the ones.
Yes, thank
following
you,
this.
chat.
Yeah.
I'm the pawn in this game for real.
And see, now I'm just grumpy that it takes YouTube 3 days to update their hours. So
Yeah.
I want my super chats now. God damn it!
But hey,
I gotta run real quick though. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I gotta run. Listen, I want to say thank you guys. Thanks again to Legal Vice, and I'm so glad I was just here to be able to get this moment. You know, it's amazing to see, you know, when this happens. So thank you so much. And DUI Guy, I'm so sorry this happened today, but I've been loving your coverage. I watch you every morning, and
It's
like
all
we were just
good,
talking
man.
about, when you drive to the courtroom, I feel like I'm jumping in a car and experiencing it with you. I'm like, this guy's got me so sucked into these stupid streams in the morning. It's crazy, but it's fun to watch it. Yeah, and experience, because you know it's that natural thing where where you know, it's like you really get that full feel. And I love your reactions. I love everything you do, bro. Continue to do it. Legal Vices, thanks again for having me on.
Nate.
Thank you guys, chat, and I'm out of here. Peace,
Take
guys.
care. Now, I mean, I'm just telling you how insane this is for me. As of 7, now it's 9:19 p.m. here in Korea. As of
You're in
6:50.
Korea?
Yeah, Legal Mindset and he's up in Seoul. I'm down in Busan. We're like opposite corners of the country.
Are you all like? Are you Jags?
No, he's doing like independent stuff. I work for a Korean law firm here. I've been working for this firm for 26 years, doing maritime, admiralty, corporate, and white collar crime related stuff.
Nice, good for you.
And
man.
yeah, it was just like Legal Mindset. Andrew and I, we have drinks together down here, up there, and he's like, "You got to do this shit, man." People would listen to you. I'm like, yeah, up here everything is funny and amusing and witty, but you never know how people react. He said, "No, just give it a shot." So he kept pressing me and pushing me in to do this. So I said, "All right, I'll do it and see what happens." And good stuff happened. But before 7:00 p.m. here, before 2 hours and 20 minutes ago, I had never hosted a guest on my deal. I was going to try to learn all the StreamYard stuff with Andrew next week for hosting people.
Yeah.
And then I went on the Legal Mindset's deal later today. He's in an airport hotel. He's in a hotel. He's leaving Korea to go to the States for a while. And so he's having all of these Wi-Fi problems, and Bluetooth wasn't working. And just in the middle of a stream, he's like, "Here, I got to go take it over. I'm dumping everything on you." And then in the middle of that, Nate shows up, and then you show up, and I'm like, "Holy shit." So I very quickly figured out this StreamYard hosting side of things. So yeah, I went from just doing my little thing and bouncing around to other people's channels to hosting the big of the big. But anyway, it's like a raw deal that this happened to you, and it's
It is what it is, man. I'm past it already.
And I mean, I would never tell anybody what to do. But now, what was the lady's name that you did that you gave the money to for the armband?
Sabrina. I think it's spelled SUB,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure. That's just
like a
her.
Sabrina. Okay.
Yeah.
Sabrina, give him the money back.
No.
Okay. All right.
Nope.
All right.
I don't want it back.
Okay.
Fair is fair. She is not responsible. Look, dude, she sat there for like 5-6 hours trying to get the spot. She earned the money. It was a valid transaction. You know the law, man.
Okay, yeah.
You know the law. Why the fuck would I ask for the money back?
No, I'm saying ask for it. I get you. Yeah, I see
you know
what
I'm
you're
saying.
too.
Like
Yeah,
it was a valid transaction. She has nothing to do with it. It is an outside force. End of story. She's keeping the money.
That's a big position to take. You know,
That's how I roll, man. I don't fuck around. I'm
Yeah.
a man of my word.
I mean, I myself, I probably wouldn't ask for it back either. But yeah, that's a high road to take there.
I appreciate it. So what are you talking about today? Are you waiting for the court to start? Are you going to be streaming this like all night long?
In about 25 minutes, I'm going to jump over to Nick's site. Nick invited me to join him this evening. But what we've been doing, and if you can stick around until about 45 minutes past the hour, that would be awesome, because we were just kind of in the middle of going over Amber's cross-examination.
Well, what I'm probably going to do, Jeff, is
Yeah.
I'm going to go on Joe's, and then I'm going to go on Nick's channel. So, dude,
Okay.
I'm so fucking happy for you. I love that I have this trail of love like that is following me right now. And look at that. We got you monetized in like, how long did it take? 25 minutes to monetize you?
Well, we're up 4,000 subscribers now, so that's kind of wild. I mean, that's weird. So if you're gonna go over to Nick's, I'll see you there.
Are you coming to Nick's later?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nick invited me on, so I'll be there like 45 minutes after the hour.
Yep. Okay. All right, man. I'll see you there.
Anything else you want to say before you leave? I mean, this
Hashtag justice for DUI guy is trending. All right.
Take care. See you in a few minutes.
See ya. Bye.
Wow. Okay. That would have been, this has been a really weird day. I mean, this has been odd. I mean, the way this day was supposed to pan out was I was going to go on Legal Mindset's channel, which is a great channel. Everybody should go to Legal Mindset and subscribe to him if you haven't. I'm supposed to go on him, on his site for about an hour and a half, and then I was going to do this review for an hour, and then I was going to go over to Ricada Law and join Nick's stream. But because of all the problems that Legal Mindset was having with his connectivity, he dumped everything on me, and then Nate joined in, and then Nate had to go take his kids to school. And so he dropped off, and then we were doing this, and then Nate comes on, and then DUI guy comes on. So this has been one hell of a weird day for me. Yeah, and again, for shit, this is just stupid. There's 4,000 subscribers I've picked up since DUI guy came on, and the numbers just keep spinning. And I appreciate that. If anybody who likes and subscribes to my channel, you are amazing, wonderful people. And what I do here is just sort of, based, unfiltered commentary on what's going on, legal issues, things. I live here in Korea. So, I talk about things Korean, a few things. I have my personal legal vices. That's why my channel is Legal Vices. I'm a big whiskey guy, big cigar guy, big pipe guy, watch collector, that sort of thing. If any of that interests you, come and join in, subscribe to the channel and go. But I'm going to hit this, more of the Amber Heard rebuttal, cross-examination and rebuttal testimony. If y'all want to stay, please stay. My favorite whiskey. Oh my God, that's a question. It just depends where I'm at the moment. For Nick's stream, I'm going to be opening up a bottle of Ardbeg Ugedal. No, probably the Corryvrecken. I'll probably have the Ardbeg Corryvrecken for Nick's stream. Right now, I am into a Australian released Blanton's bourbon. That's what I've been drinking here for a bit. I've been here in Korea for 34 years. Whiskey is hard to come by, so I take it where I can get it. But let's jump back into this testimony. I mean, this is like there's no way to easily segue into this. I mean, this is just too wild for me. So we'll just jump back into this, and I'll just have to deal with the shock that I've been experiencing today. Johnny Depp, looking at the cross-examination here. Where we left off was Camille was in the middle of her cross-examination. She had listed 3 or 4 people that lied about their testimony and how Amber was telling all the truth.
I'm going to move to admit and publish Plaintiff's Exhibit
Oh,
1317.
this is the discrepancy with the
No, Your Honor.
pictures.
1317 in evidence you can publish.
There's no bruise on your face in this picture either, right?
I disagree. If it is taken when you represent it was taken,
Okay, now to set the background, they showed the picture of her when she was applying for her temporary restraining order with the alleged bruise on the side of her face and coming out of the court. And this picture was taken the day after the picture of the bruise, and she doesn't have any bruise on her face here. And so this is the comparison that Camille is making. And I'm sorry, I have no super chats, nothing like that. I have no mods because I've never needed any. So I have no way to regulate 7,000 people on stream here. So I apologize for not responding to the comments, and I have no ability to super chat at the moment, but apparently that's been fixed. So anyway, that's where we are. We're comparing the picture of their bruised up face and then this picture that was taken the next day.
then obviously there's a bruise on my face. It's covered by makeup as per.
So she says this there is a bruise on her face, but it's covered with makeup. Now, I'm not a woman, obviously, and I'm going to be the last person to say anything about women cosmetics because I just don't know. But to me, and maybe the women in the chat can say something about it, to me, that is a face that has no makeup on it.
Usual.
Let's zoom out of that picture for a moment, please. Thanks, Tom. That's Josh Drew in this picture, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And Miss Pennington
That is correct.
in there too? Ms.
That is
Pennington
correct.
submitted a sworn statement on your behalf in support of your domestic violence restraining order, didn't she?
The women are saying she has no makeup and is
believe
barefaced.
she did, yes.
I would agree.
Mr. Drew also submitted a statement in support of your domestic violence restraining order.
I believe they both did, yes. Mhm.
Ms. Jordy, I'd like to show you Defendant's Exhibit 512, which is already in evidence. You've seen this photograph before, right?
I have.
On the second day of your direct testimony,
Oh, God, this is
you
great.
testified that this was taken in the downstairs of the main apartment on December 15th, 2015. Do you recall that testimony?
December 15th.
Yes, I believe so.
So it's your testimony that Defendant's Exhibit 512 reflects damage to Penthouse 5 that occurred during the December 15th, 2015 incident. Yes?
December 15th.
I'm not quite sure
2015
from
damage.
what incident this is when I see this photo in a vacuum without context.
Let's give you that context. Can we please, if I could have day 16 trial testimony?
It's hard to say how good of a cross-examiner
All right.
Camille is. She has done what I've been saying is the second best cross-examination of any witness I've ever personally witnessed in my entire life. Do you have a license in Korea? No, I do not have a license to practice in Korea. There are no foreigners with licenses to practice in Korea. Rather than being
Could
a
you please
practicing
turn
lawyer, I'm
first
an
to
American
page
lawyer that
4585.
consults here in the Korean law firm. But as I was saying, Camille has given the second best cross-examination I've ever seen.
Specifically on starting on line 16, where it says, let's talk about December 15th, 2015.
You said 458. Oh, I'm on 4485. Sorry, you said 4584.
4585.
Pardon.
Line 16.
Just got to check her notes here.
Line 16, where it says, let's talk about December 15th, 2015. Do you see that?
Yes.
And then do you see that your testimony about December 15th, 2015 follows?
Let's see. It's just the first line or two.
She's just stalling, thinking of an answer. She's been told exactly what page and what line to look at. And in those deposition reports, each line is numbered. It will literally say like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down the line. Those are line numbered, and she's just
Yes.
stalling.
Okay. Now, I'd like you to turn to page 4603. Starting at line 12. 4603.
Legal
Starting
Vices.
at
What's
line
your Twitter?
12
My
and
Twitter
going
is
on
the
to
Legal
page
Vices.
4604, line 4.
See, she said it's line 4. She literally has to go to the page and look at the number 4 and start reading
Okay.
that line.
And do you see that you testify that defendant's exhibit 512, which is on the screen,
Yes,
is a picture of the downstairs of the main apartment?
that's correct.
And the main apartment is penthouse 5 in the Eastern Columbia building, right?
No, well, depends on what, the main apartment's penthouse 3 generally when we say main apartment.
Penthouse 5 was where you had your closet?
The downstairs was kind of like had some of my painting studio set up and a reception area. Upstairs was the closet.
Got it.
Mezzanine office was in between.
All right, so it's your testimony that defendant's exhibit 512 reflects damage to the penthouse 5, that occurred during the December 15th, 2015 incident, right?
I'm just not sure from which incident this is a picture of, since I'm only looking at
Even
a
though your
partial
counsel
floor.
was asking you questions about December 15th, 2015, and then admitted this picture into evidence
Again,
in
in my
relation to that incident.
sorry, go ahead.
In
What?
relation to that incident on December 15th, 2015. This
If you
exhibit,
haven't seen this, she's
defendant's
making a
exhibit,
point
you are
of
the
this
defendant,
date, December 15th,
number
2015,
512,
for a
was
very
admitted into
important
evidence
reason.
in this court. You testified that this was the result of damage that occurred on December 15th, 2015. Yes or no?
I just need to orient myself.
You
because
don't
I'm
need
just
to
looking at
orient
a
yourself.
Partial
No,
picture of a
Ms. Hurd, you
floor,
didn't just
so
look
I
at a
can't.
picture. You looked at your testimony.
You pointed me towards the page
She
and then
does
asked me a
not
question. I haven't
want
actually
to answer
reviewed it.
this.
I don't know if this was submitted in relation to that incident.
Let's pull up, let's actually leave up defendant's.
See, she won't
512
answer,
and
so
please
she's
pull
like,
up
fuck it, we'll move on to the
defendant's
next
exhibit
question.
725,
She brings up another piece of
which
evidence.
is already in evidence
Thank
in
you.
redacted form, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You can publish.
Just side by side. You've seen this photograph as well, right?
I have.
That's a different piece
On
of
the third
evidence
day
for
of your
a
direct
different
testimony, you
testimony.
testified that this photograph reflected spilled wine in penthouse 5 on May 21st, 2016, didn't you?
Again, I don't know because I'm looking
Yeah,
at
so
a
she's saying
partial
these
picture of the
pictures,
floor. So unless
they
you
submitted this
remove the
evidence
metadata you've covered
for
up,
two
we can tell.
separate
If you
I didn't cover
incidences,
it up,
one in
no.
December
I read
2015
unredacted
and one in
evidence.
May
Good context.
2016.
That's how it's in evidence.
That's how it's
All
in
right,
evidence.
Next
Well,
question.
the metadata next to it is so that
Ms.
to
Hurd,
avoid this
Ms.
sort of
Hurd, there is
confusion.
no question pending, and I would appreciate it if you wouldn't be making argument to the jury.
Sorry, I
It's
thought you had
inappropriate.
asked me about it.
No, she didn't ask you
No, I
that.
didn't ask
So
you about anything.
Amber has just been caught.
Let's look
Her
at your
team has
direct
just been caught
testimony
submitting
from,
the same
third day.
picture for two separate incidences 5 months apart. But everyone else is the one that's lying. And that's the thing. If you look at
Yes,
her,
ma'am.
this cross-examination, the gist of it is Amber is the only one telling the truth, and everyone, it isn't Amber versus Johnny Depp. Not what Amber said versus what Johnny Depp said. It's what Amber said versus what every single witness that's been called on Johnny Depp's side has said. And I mean,
Let's
this
turn to
is
page
ridiculous.
4750 in day 17 transcript.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
4750.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has committed perjury except her in this case. Everyone has lied on the stand except her in this case. Everyone is on the
Specifically line
bandwagon
16.
except for her in this case.
Do you see where Ms. Bredehoff asked you to describe for the jury what took place on May 21st, 2016?
I see that.
And do you see that your testimony is reflected about May 21, 2015
Yes.
that follows? Okay.
Yes.
Now let's turn to page 4804 at line 14.
I mean, holy crap, I'm over 13,000 subscribers now. Guys, thank you so much. I know it's most of your first time seeing me,
Starting
and the
at
fact
line
you're
14?
subscribing is
Yes.
really, really like touching
Through
to me. I
4805
appreciate
line
this.
4.
How are we
Going
doing
to
on
what
time?
line?
Ugh.
Line 4 at 4805. Do you see that you're testifying that defendant's exhibit 725, which is reflected on the right side, reflects spilled wine on the floor?
See, she is
in the
trying
penthouse
so
live?
hard not to
That's
answer this
correct.
question.
And defendant's exhibit 512 and
I mean,
725.
we just saw these two pictures. They're identical
Okay.
pictures. One is
That's
a little more
correct.
cropped than the other.
So which is it? Which one was taken on December 15th, 2015, or May 21st, 2016?
If you remove the redacted metadata, you can find out. It's right there.
Or if you're telling the truth, you would know.
Recognize a portion of spilled wine on a floor, and I'm supposed to know off the top of my head. When
You
go through
submitted the
5 years
evidence.
and
Of
stuff, I
course
don't
you're
think so.
supposed to
That's not how that
fucking
works.
know. That isn't, you cannot submit the evidence
Thank
for
you,
your
Tom.
side and say you don't know what incident it came from.
Ms. Heard, at the beginning of your cross-examination
Your
last
Honor, may
week,
we approach?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that is the most ridiculous thing, to say I submitted this evidence as proof that this event occurred, but I don't know when that picture was taken or what event it relates to. That, I mean, that just defies any type of logic. That just defies any type of rational explanation other than you're lying. Your lawyers made a mistake with these two pieces of evidence 5 months apart using exactly the same picture. It's stunning that this is happening. Camille is an executioner. I mean, she's just, this is a sniper headshot. Someone asked if I was in the military. No. And unfortunately, it's
Right. Ladies and gentlemen in the gallery, I would ask that there be no words or no phrases, no words, no sounds at all coming from you. If I hear one more sound, I will clear the gallery and we will continue this testimony without anybody in the courtroom. Understood?
Understood. Now, unfortunately, gosh, we're not going to be able to wrap up the cross-examination because I've got 5 minutes to get ready and go over to Ricada Law's stream, where I understand from the discussion we just had with DUI Guy, that's where he's going to be going as well. So wherever you happen to go after this, I sincerely appreciate you coming here and subscribing to the channel. I mean, I literally had no concept that this was even a possible development for the evening. But now what you're going to see is, I don't know who you're going to watch. I don't know, which stream you're going to watch. And, I don't care. I go on everybody's stream that wants me. But when you watch it, what you're going to see over the next few hours, you're going to see probably some exciting stuff and a whole lot of boring stuff. The exciting stuff is going to be the closing arguments by both sides. Each side is allotted 2 hours, in this case, as I understand it, to give their closing arguments. And there'll be some back and forth. So however they divide up the time between their closing statement in chief and the rebuttal closing statement is up to them. But then you're going to hear the jury instructions. The jury instructions are going to be lengthy, involved, and probably boring as shit. But they're very important because the judge is going to be telling the jury how they should consider the law. What the basis for making the decision is, what law applies, and how to apply that law, which can be very, very important. And to the people that are talking about mods and subscribing and the super chats, that was like on my radar for 3 or 4 months down the line. I'm not even monetized yet. I was far from being monetized until this night. But now apparently I can. I have enough viewing hours that I can monetize myself. So now I'm gonna have to worry about all that shit. So yeah, and I mean, there's no way I'm gonna sit here and live stream this because I'm the new kid on the block. I'm the small guy. Other people have invested in this, and I'm happy to join them and contribute to what I have. And I think it's just amazing that they even want to hear from me. But and again, I haven't groomed the stash tonight. I'm just kind of wearing my t-shirt because I didn't expect all of this to happen. I just got an SOS from Legal Mindset that he needed to dump his stream on me because he was having some problems. So I fired up the grill and did it. And I hope you all come back. I deeply appreciate you guys being here. I mean, this is insane. I've never met you guys, but I love you guys. And check out some of the old videos again. Like those, whatever comments you want to make. I'll try to answer the comments, but I have a sneaky suspicion that I've moved past the ability to be able to respond to every comment on my YouTube channel. Again, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for following me. Go view your favorite lawyer that's streaming the arguments. I'm going to go join Nick over at Ricada Law. See you again. Next time I'll be monitored, and you guys can just throw stacks of money at me and I'll gladly accept it. You guys are awesome. Thanks. I'm Legal Advices, and until we meet again, explore and just enjoy your own personal legal vices. Take care. We'll talk to you later.